motherfucker.
I might have just gone live to everybody.
That's all right. First word people hear when it goes live, motherfucker. Oh, this is going to be fun.
I'm already laughing. Okay, I'm waiting for people to get in. I have to say hi to everyone I see already. Let's see, the usual characters. I've got Linda and Rhonda and Darkside and Jay Jax so far. And Mose. I don't know if they say Mose or Mosey. I'm not sure. Now, welcome to the Scales of Injustice. We are going to do something a little bit different tonight. And that is that Jason and I are going to, if you were here last week, Jason talked a little bit more about his experience with the legal system. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit more about who knows. we're going to talk, we're going to have fun, we're going to be social. If I don't know who I all have here for mods. Well, Rhonda, do you have your wrench now? Hopefully you're good. I made you a mod. I'm actually going to send one of you the StreamYard link. So if later on anybody wants to actually come on just to say hi to Jason or ask a question and come on, you guys can do that. But again, we know I am not putting the link out publicly. So I learned my lesson, and we all know that. So
hey, I'm just honored if anybody shows up at all and wants to hear anything.
Anybody wants to show up? Of course people do. Yeah. So if anyone wants to come on just to say hi to them or to ask a question, then feel free. We're going to do that a little bit more towards the end. We're going to get started with just, we're going to start out, I think we're going to just start off with talking about you, like what you like, what are your hobbies, what are your interests, what do you want people to know about you? Before we do that though, I have another special guest with me, and just about everyone here should know who Angie is. Angie Schumann is. She's my best friend, my partner in crime, and everything in between. And if you're friends with her on Facebook, then you know that she was unjustly disabled from Facebook. They disabled her. They didn't put her in jail. They have disabled her account completely. And it sucks, and it's awful, and I don't know why they would do something like that when Angie is probably the most positive person on my friends list. She always wakes up every day doing her videos, just saying good morning to everyone and telling everyone to have a great day, and they freaking ban her. So I'm angry on behalf of her. So I thought it'd be fun to bring her on tonight so that she can actually maybe ask some of the questions, because Jason and I have gotten to know each other pretty well. And so I don't want to accidentally ask something maybe I'm not supposed to, because we've talked about so many different things. So I'm going to have Angie come in, and I'm going to have her ask some questions, because she kind of represents the rest of you guys that really don't know much about him, but want to get to know more. So that's where we're going with this. So let me bring in Angie.
And make sure the viewers know, they can, through the chat or whatever, they can ask questions too. I'm happy to answer questions.
Yeah, they can ask questions then too. I just thought if anybody wanted to actually come on, as soon as I get Angie on and you guys start talking, I'm going to send that link to Linda or Rhonda or both, because they're both two of the moderators that are in here right now. I also wanted to do this because I forgot last time. Let's put up your info if anybody wants your social media info. If anybody wants to follow you on Instagram or Twitter. Jason does not have Facebook, and normally I'd be like complaining about that because that's what I use the most. But not right now, because I'm mad at Facebook. So Rhonda's putting down Angie's Twitter on there, so that's awesome. And I also saw Sean, Eric, who else came in? Alice. Okay, so hi to everybody who's here. Thanks for joining us. And like I said, this is going to be very informal. We are not talking about any of that other stuff that we normally talk about. This is just to have a good time. And so I was like, I got my drink. We're going to sit back. We're going to sit back and just have some fun. So let's get Angie on here, and then I'm going to send that link to you guys so that you have it. Okay, Angie, are you ready? Nod. Are you ready? Okay. There you are. Hi.
Hi. Thank you, everybody, for saying hello and posting my Twitter information. Like Tracy said, I was banned from Facebook, and I don't know why yet. I don't know if they'll ever tell me, and I don't know if I'll get it back. So this is a great way for you guys to see me hang out with Jason and Tracy and and I'm going to play a little bit of the what do you want to know about Jason game. So if I ask anything that you guys haven't thought of, or if I don't ask something that you guys have thought of, you guys can hop on, put a question in the link, and we'll read that too. Okay, are you ready for this?
I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. I'm good.
I'm terrified right now.
Smoke them if you got them. Drink
All
them
right.
if you got them.
I'll start out with some easy ones. All right. What is the best?
Oh, wait, before you start, I promised Jason that I would tell everybody that if he does not want to answer a question, he has the right to pass.
Yes.
It doesn't mean anything specific. It's just either something he doesn't want to talk about, he's not comfortable about talking about, or it's just something he doesn't feel like answering. So
like, don't ask like what year I was born, where my address is.
Crap.
No questions about what is your social security. No, I'm just kidding.
What's your visa number? Expiration date? CVV code? Okay.
Right, you guys have to talk, and I'm going to do some stuff over here for.
Okay. So the first question, like I said, I'm going to start easy, then we'll ask a little bit more deep questions. But what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh wow. I'm not really good at favorite stuff. Like picking favorites for me is very hard because I usually have a variety of things I really enjoy.
Well, then what are what are your top three?
So with ice cream, it's varied over the years. One of my all times that I've loved since I was a kid is probably orange sherbet.
Oh yes.
And I've always liked that. I still do. I also I've always liked Neapolitan because it's got the 3 flavors, and then I like anything cheesecake flavored.
Oh, that's good.
Or even cherries. I love cherry ice cream too. So.
Have you ever tried cheesecake flavored with fresh cherries on them?
Yes.
Not unless it was in a milkshake or something.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Okay, you guys carry on. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go make a shake. Just kidding. Okay. For vacations, where have you gone on vacations?
Oh wow, I've been everywhere.
Have you been?
I mean, since when I was a kid, we traveled a lot. I moved a lot too.
What is your hometown?
What do you mean?
Like
now?
Where were you born? No, where were you born and grew up as a kid? What town?
I grew up everywhere. I was a nomad. I was born in Arizona. I've lived in Arizona, Colorado, Texas. I've lived everywhere in Texas. Illinois, Wisconsin, Tennessee. I've just floated everywhere. We're kind of nomadic. In Texas, we lived in Grand Prairie, Irving, Arlington, Fort Worth, Burleson, Cleburne, Alvarado. I've lived everywhere.
That sounds like me in the county that I am at. I've lived in 7 different towns, but only in this county. So yeah. I'm like a mini nomad.
But as far as travel, I've been to a lot of different places growing up. Since I've been out, I've gone to a number of different cities and states, but I think the travel that I've enjoyed the most was going to Ireland and then going to Mexico. I want to do more overseas travel. So.
Yes. Ireland is on my list as well.
It's an amazing country. Very beautiful.
Yeah. What was your favorite thing about Ireland?
Probably the people. The people were very, very just polite and kind. I remember one time a friend of mine that I met there, Amy Fly. She's a lawyer now. We were out for a day hike, and we actually had people stop their car and ask us how we were enjoying the weather.
Wow.
And that's such a departure from how things are here. It's like somebody stops their car here, you're like, what the fuck do they want? You know,
yeah.
You're kind of nervous, but
right.
Yeah, they were very, very polite people there. And it's just a beautiful countryside. Going out and looking at some of the fields and mountains and cliffs and, castles and just various things is amazing. And I was there to visit my friends Sonny and Peter, who were both wrongfully convicted, also they run
Wow.
the Sonny Center, which they open up to exonerees. That's how I was there. And Peter, who has been in Ireland his whole life, is like the best tour guide ever.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy knows everything about everything.
I'm writing
So
that
when you
down.
go places
Peter.
with him, he can tell you all kinds of cool stuff.
All right. One question I had, it's another favorite question, but I see it's in the chat as well, that people are asking, what is your favorite holiday and why?
If anybody couldn't guess that, I don't know. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I've always liked Halloween, partly because I love the horror element of it. I love horror films, and I like the idea that you can dress up and be different people, and it's just a time for the misfits of the world to enjoy themselves, and I've always enjoyed that.
Misfits Unite.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is your favorite way to spend a Saturday? Wait, with Tracy and I on YouTube. Okay, next question.
We already know
Yeah,
the answer to that.
Yeah, we know.
I don't have like a typical Saturday, but like if it's a lazy day, I might watch a movie or play some video games. My go-to, of course, is to play my guitars, but it's usually one of those things: watch a movie, play video games, or play my guitars. If I'm going out anywhere, which we can't really do anymore,
Right.
it might be to like go to a concert or something like that. But yeah, these days it's mostly movies, video games, and guitar.
All right.
Hold on one second. I'm just going to ask this because I know which part to not say. Has your taste in music changed since before that other thing happened, and then after that other thing happened? Has it changed since
I
before
don't
that?
mind
or
if people mention prison. I just don't want the whole conversation to be about that.
No, I know, but we
I'll
said we were going
answer
to try to
your
avoid that
question
topic for you
just a
tonight, so you
second.
didn't have
I'll
to think
answer the
about
question in just a second. I just want to express that the reason I'm doing this is because, to me, it's very odd that everybody knows me simply because I went to prison for something I didn't do. And I want people to know that I'm not just the guy that went to prison. There's more to me. And I want to express that, and I want people to see that. So to answer her question, musically, I've always listened to a wide variety of music, mostly rock and metal. But yeah, going to prison changed a lot of my interests and tastes. I read a lot more, and I listened to a variety of new things in there. One of the things that I learned to appreciate musically that I never really took a lot of time to appreciate in the past was classical music. I never took the time when I was young and riotous and foolish to appreciate the beauty and the intricacy that can be found in music by Chopin or Beethoven or whoever, Rachmaninoff. It's some very powerful, moving, and driving music. It's just great stuff, very powerful. And so I really came to appreciate that. Jazz is another one that I never took the time to appreciate when I was a kid, but I learned to appreciate in prison.
Okay, Jason, you're going to kill me for this, but do you know how to turn the volume up on your iPad?
Let's see. I don't know if I can hold on.
I can hear you, but Rhonda said that she's having a little bit of a hard time hearing you. So I just want to make sure everyone can hear you.
Is that any better?
Did you turn it the wrong way?
I don't know. Is that any better?
No, you got quieter.
I got quieter?
Yeah, you got quieter.
How the hell did I get quieter? All right, hold on. Let's try this. How's that? Is that better?
No, seriously, you got quieter.
Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, yeah, it is kind of low, isn't it? But I don't know how to fucking change that. It won't let me change that shit.
You just turned it lower, so it must have done something.
No, I turned the speaker up on my fucking iPad like you would regularly turn it up if I want to hear shit.
Damn it, Rhonda.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, man. I'm just gonna have to scream. Is that? Can you hear me now?
I don't want you to scream.
Well, I don't know how to fix that. So,
But you did get softer though since what you were before. So I don't know what you did.
all I did was move this, the volume over here. Is that changing anything for you?
Mm-mm.
Hello,
Okay.
hello.
You're fine, I guess. Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know. Can the viewers hear me? That's what matters.
Okay. Yeah. Linda's saying she can hear you fine.
All right.
But
I didn't change anything from when we were doing this 3 hours ago. So
yeah, I know.
So I don't know what I could do differently.
I don't either. That's why I
I'm
could
gonna
hear
have to
you
just set
fine.
up an entire studio for when we do this kind of shit.
We'll do that eventually. So okay, let's continue on.
All right. How
Maybe,
many?
Angie, maybe you can turn down a little bit because you're really loud. So maybe that's why.
How do I turn down?
I don't know. You did it before.
Yeah.
You turned down a little bit.
All right, where's our producer? Tech producer? No, I'm just kidding.
Technically, I'm being the producer. I'm just doing it on screen right now.
I'm just
All right.
Because Angie is really loud, so maybe that's why it seems like she's so
Am I
loud.
less loud now?
If NBC calls us and wants to turn this into a show, then we'll worry about that crap.
Well, now I can't hear you guys though.
You can't hear me?
I can now. I turned it way down. Am I quieter?
I think y'all both come clear.
Rhonda's
Let's just
apologizing in
move
the
forward. I
chat.
think everybody's fine.
Okay, we'll just move forward.
I'll move backwards. You guys can move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I actually turned it down because Angie was loud, I thought, but I don't know.
I'll be like on that Impractical Jokers episode where he's like, "Can you hear me now?"
Yes, we heard you great right there. All right. I'm just loud.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are loud. Okay. I don't know if I missed a question, but here's another one from Chris.
All right, let's go with that one.
Wow. I don't know if I watch an actual show right now that's on Netflix. I watch movies on there all the time, but I think the last show I binged on there was The Walking Dead because I was behind on it. I've been thinking about watching Stranger Things. I heard that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many shows, it's hard to keep up. I used to watch a ton of shows when I was locked up. It's hard to keep up with them now. So yeah, I don't really have a specific series that I'm watching on Netflix. I did like all the The Punisher, The Flash.
Oh yeah.
All those kinds of things. I love that stuff. But I've watched all those for the most
Have you
part.
seen Making a Murderer? Asking for a friend.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we've already been over all that stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have?
I gotta ask, look at Chris's question.
How do you handle these two? Yeah, I'm starting to question that. No, I'm just kidding.
This falls under the if you want to answer, fine. If you don't, you don't have to.
All right.
It's personal. So
Do you
have a
no,
girlfriend?
I don't, and no, I am not. That was real easy.
Yeah, that was an easy one. All right, let's go to another hard one. How many things have you? Well, the question is, how many bucket list things have you done in your life? But do you have a bucket list?
I
Let's
don't
start
really
there.
have I don't really have a bucket list per se. I mean, not an actual literal list. There's a lot of things I'd like to do. One of them is what I've already mentioned, is doing a lot more travel. When I was locked up, I had this vision that I wanted to take a year and just travel across Europe and Asia.
Yes.
With no schedule, just whenever I feel like getting up and moving somewhere else, I do it. Obviously, that wasn't as feasible as I thought it would be. And now I have, so much stuff, going on that it makes it hard to do that. So what I'm going to try to do is do it in portions. Do a couple countries at a time, come back, rest, do other things here, go back, visit a couple other countries. I really want to see Japan. That's one of the top lists. My next, I was supposed to go to Africa this year. That fell through, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Holland. I want to see Spain, England, Germany. There's so many places I want to go.
How about Belgium? We know some Belgians. They'd let you stay with them.
I mean,
cool people.
I want to go everywhere. I want to see so many things. And another thing that's on my list is, I would love the opportunity to work with any number of directors or producers that I've admired. You know, I'd love to work with Rob Zombie or Guillermo del Toro or Tim Burton or any of those kind of people. You know,
Right.
So you know, I got a lot of things on the list, but it's not an actual, you know, written out list.
Yeah. All right. I like this
um,
question. Who would you want to play you in a movie?
I really don't know. I don't know who really could play me. But I know that. So my friend David Elliott, who I worked with on Proven Innocent, we've talked about this in the past. That, you know, when the time comes for me to write a film based on my book, that he wants to work with me and help me. And one of the people that we entertained the idea of having was Garrett Hedlund, who, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Garrett. He's a great actor. He played probably the best role that you would know him from, that I think kind of fits my earlier life a little bit, is Four Brothers. He was the younger brother that got killed. He also played in Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon, and yeah, that's Garrett Hedlund. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a great guy. We went and hung out at his house when I was in LA a couple trips back, and he had some interest in it, but you know, we haven't gotten to a point where we're ready for that. So I don't know how that will play out when the time comes. But he's the only one we've given any thought to on that matter.
There's also the first part of the question is,
I haven't been offered anything to write a book, but I am working on a book. It's not as easy as people would think, even if you've lived through the shit. But I am working on one. Hopefully, if everything goes well, early next year. I don't know. I can't promise that, but that's my hope. Because I want to get it out. I want to get that going, and then be able to start working on films. I want to put a film out about it, and then I want to kind of work towards doing other things that I'm passionate about, not just stuff for wrongful conviction stuff. I want to work on TV shows and movies that aren't innocence or wrongful conviction driven. Because I mean, I've always had a thing about film since I was a little kid. I got hooked. I remember the first time I watched. You're very welcome, Alice. I remember the very first time I watched The Exorcist. Scared the fucking shit out of me. But I loved it. I was hooked. And the next day, this is back when we actually had video stores and VHS cassettes. Yeah, I'm old, I know. But I would hop on my fucking bike and ride down to the video store every day and rent all these crazy fucking movies. Mostly horror movies. And I mean, I would get everything from like the blockbusters to the B movies that nobody gives a shit about. And I just became obsessed with film. I even kept a little folder where every Sunday when we got the paper, I'd clip out articles about movies that I liked, and I'd keep them in this folder, and I just studied that kind of stuff. Never thought in a million years I would actually try to get into that world. I just loved film. So, yeah. Wrote and submitted plays or movies. No, I have not. I worked as a consultant on Proven Innocent, and other than that, I created a short film which you can find on YouTube, and I have movies in my mind that I want to create little short films for film festivals. That's going to be one of my projects this fall, is to start trying to put a lot of those together. I just put my company together, Burning Image Productions, which I'm going to try to get going on social media and have a YouTube channel and a website and all that within the next week or so. So once that happens, I'll put that up on my Instagram and people can find it. There's a lot of things like that I'm trying to work towards, but I haven't actually put anything out there yet to be made yet. I hope that answered your question there.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
One of the things I meant to remember before when we were talking, and I said I forgot about something and I couldn't remember what it was. I was going to ask you if you wanted me to give the mods your link to that YouTube channel that had your wrongful conviction project on there. Do you
I
want?
don't have it handy. It's on. So my buddy Brandon, who is the host of my music show that I produced, he has his own channel called Worst Media, and on there you can find 7 episodes of Soundcheck, which is my music show that I produced, and my short film, The Injustice System, is also on there. There's a couple things that he put together too, but those have nothing connected to me. But next week, I plan to put my channels out and start moving all my content to my Burning Image Productions channel, and then stuff to do with like the wrongful conviction stuff. Any interviews I've done, I'm going to put those on my personal channel. So those are projects for the next week that I'm going to start putting together, so people can find my stuff easier.
No, I've watched this stuff, so you'd think it'd be easier for me to find, but I can't remember I watched it.
Yeah, well,
I'll try to find it.
but people will be able to find it once I put it up there. I'm gonna, like I said, I'll put it on my Instagram so people can know where it's at, and I'm gonna create a website too so that people can go there and just click whatever they want to watch, and you know. So I'm working on those things, but I'm happy to say that I did finally create an LLC in Burning Image Productions, which I've been wanting to do for a while. So now it's official. I own the domain names as well, so I'll be creating my own website and all that.
Very cool.
Okay, go ahead, Andrew. You can read again.
I did read a compendium of a stack of them. I haven't read them completely, like each edition, but I've read a large portion of them when I was locked up. The Walking Dead graphic novels.
Yeah. Alice lives in Scotland. So in the beginning, when you were talking about places to visit, Alice said Scotland is very nice.
Yeah, I want to go there. I believe. No, that's not. That's Northern Ireland where that's at. Never mind. My bad. I was mistaken. But yeah, I want to go to Scotland. That's another one that's on my list of places. In fact, when I go to England, that's going to be part of my journey is to go there as well. But I will keep the Edinburgh Film Festival in mind. Does she know when about does that happen? I mean, I suppose I could look it up as well, but if she knows like what part of the year that happens in, that'll give me a good idea.
I'm sure she'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll let you know, or she'll let us know before we're done here.
But what I was gonna say, and I apologize, Alice, that I misspoke, but I was for some reason I thought Scotland, but it's Northern Ireland. There's this place I've always wanted to go called the Giants Causeway, and it's just this amazing place where it's like these giant like circles, almost circles. Some of them are like hexagonal and shit, but it's these big pillars all over the beach, and are all over the waterfront. And the story behind it is that long ago, these giants would use that to cross across the continents. And it was just this really interesting thing. It's a very beautiful thing. People should look it up, the Giants Causeway.
That's actually, Sue brought that up earlier. I knew I saw somebody mention it in the comment.
Yeah, I see that now, yeah. I have not,
earlier.
because I was in Southern Ireland, not Northern Ireland. So I spent most of my time in, first, I saw what you said there, Alice, about August, so thank you. But to Sue's thing, I was in Southern Ireland, so I spent a lot of time in Galway and Connemara area. And then I did a pub hop in Dublin with my friend. And we also went and had a behind the scenes tour of the Parliament there as well.
Okay, Angie, do you want to continue on with your questions?
Sure. Who in your life has made the biggest impact?
Oh my God. in what way? Like in a specific way, or
Anyway.
in general? Wow.
Just someone that has impacted your life in a positive way that.
Well, in a positive way. Okay.
Yeah, let's say
that
positive.
changes things, because I could say, well, the police officer that fucked me over impacted my life pretty badly.
Right. In a positive way.
Tom Garrity. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be free today. but outside of that spectrum, wow, it's hard. That's a hard one.
Okay, let me narrow it down.
I guess I would have to say my mom, because she
great.
put up with me for my whole life and has never abandoned me. And she taught me to be who I am, and I know I probably disappoint her in some ways, but she's always been there, and she's always been my rock, and she's always believed in me, and she's never abandoned me, and she very well could have. She could have gave up on me when I was born. So yeah, I'd have to say my mom.
And your grandma, right?
Yeah, my grandmother has been a very big influence in my life, especially when I was going through my fight. She was my special forces. But yeah, and I stay in touch with them all. I spend every Sunday with my mom. I call her daily, because if I don't, she worries. Yeah, I know. I'm 45 years old, but if I don't call my mom, she's like, "Why did you call me?" But a lot of that is because of what happened to me. She worries more. My grandmother, I have a great relationship with her. I talk to her all the time. And yeah, so they're very important women in my life, and people in my life that have impacted me for good, in good ways. So.
That's awesome. See, who said, how can he handle us two? It's because he's had amazing women in his life. He's used to this.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any recurring dreams?
Wow.
So we've talked about dreams before.
I do, but not good ones.
Oh, that's not good.
No. One of my, I guess I can address this shortly. Hold on, let me do this real quick. My neighbor wanting to know when, what day next week we can go to the range. But anyway,
Don't mind us.
Yeah.
well, no, I just wanted to let him know I'll talk to him later. So he's not thinking I'm ignoring him. But anyway,
Whatever.
But I'm sorry. What did you ask me again?
I don't even remember.
It's gone
recurring
now.
Wait,
dreams.
come on. Huh?
Recurring dreams.
Oh yeah. All right. I won't talk about this one long, but I do have recurring dreams, and but it's usually of the bad variety, and it's one of the reasons that I struggle to sleep today. And it is what it is I have this dream where I wake up in the dream as if freedom is a dream, and the reality is I'm still in prison. And it fucks me up so bad that when I really wake up, I'm in a cold sweat, and it takes me a while to realize where I'm at. And once I finally realize that I'm at home and I'm okay and everything's safe and this is the real world, I'm already so fucked up that I can't go back to sleep. And so that's one that I struggle with. And that's all I'll say on that. I don't want to dwell on that. So.
All right. This will be.
Wait, Chris had a question, and I'm putting it up there.
What is Chris' question?
I told him he didn't have to answer, but I'm putting it up there. Because I'm dying. I'm laughing at her.
Oh my God. The $1 million question, right?
Right.
Forget about it, huh? No. Boxers.
Okay, there you go. See, there's nothing else for you to wonder about, Chris. You got your answer.
Yeah.
But are they
We
regular?
got
Like,
down to the nitty gritty on that one. Come on.
are they like the floppy boxers or like
Not boxer briefs, no.
Okay. All right. I have nothing. No.
Yeah, I'm not.
This is a good question. I like this question.
I'm not built like Mark Wahlberg. If I ever get to that build, then okay, I'd rock some boxer briefs. But right now, I'm not built like him, so I can't see myself doing that and owning it.
All right.
What is the
stupidest thing you've done because someone dared you to? Oh wow. Shit, I don't know. I mean, I can tell you some stupid things. I don't know if it's just necessarily because someone dared me to. I almost blew up a cop car once when I was a kid. I
was gonna say, because I know this story, and I was finding it hard you couldn't come up with that one.
Nobody really dared me to do it, but it was just.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
It was just a good idea.
It was just a stupid thing. No one dared you to do it.
Well, we found some gunpowder, and we made our own bombs, if you will. We took like glue bottles and different shit and filled them up, taped them up, made our own fuses. And we was lighting them and throwing them like, just having fun, blowing shit up, right? Being kids. And I lit one and threw it out in this road. And as soon as I threw it, a cop came around the corner. And so we jumped behind some bushes and he drove over it and just barely got past it when it blew up. And he stops and we're like about to shit ourselves. Like, holy fuck, what the fuck? We're going to get busted. And because he didn't see anything, didn't know what it was, he took off. But that was probably one of the stupidest things I've done. One of the many. I'm sure I've done a ton of them. I can't think of one that someone's dared me to do off the top of my head. Though.
All right. If you could be a fictional character, who would it be?
Can I pick a combination?
Sure.
Spider-Man and Deadpool combined.
Oh.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
And what would you call yourself?
Spider-Pool.
Spider-Pool.
No, I don't know what I call it. I guess Spider-Pool.
Dead spider.
Dead spider.
Dead
There you
spider.
go. No, I've always I like comics. I love the movies they've been making off these over the years too. But Spider-Man was always just fucking awesome. I mean, how cool would that be to have Spider-Man's abilities, right? And then Deadpool. Nothing can fucking stop the guy. You can fucking blow him up, chop him into pieces. He's still fucking going. That guy's fucking awesome. So, and I love the fucking. I just gotta say, I loved Ryan Reynolds in that movie. He was perfect for that shit.
I just love Ryan Reynolds. End of story.
Yeah, pretty much. Period.
Oh.
But yeah, so those are my two that I would combine to become that person. So every time I see a spider, I'm like, why can't you be like a genetically altered spider?
Yeah, what's wrong with you, spider?
Bite me, bite me.
Get with the program.
You can meet any two people, dead or alive. Ooh, that's a tough one. There's so many greats. Okay, so let's say one of them would be Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison, because I've always enjoyed the music of the Doors and the poetry of Jim Morrison. Ever since I was a kid, my uncle was a big Doors fan. He used to wake me up to the Doors. I'd be sleeping and all of a sudden I'd hear, "Wake up! You can't remember where it was, had this dream stuff." I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, it was my uncle waking me up. But so I've always loved the Doors. I've always loved Morrison. Another one, shoot, that's a tough one. I don't want to pick another musical one. So let's see.
I'd tell you that I would like to meet Jim Morrison, but you know that it would be untrue, and you know that I would be a liar.
Very
She cracks
good,
herself up.
Yeah, that's let's see. Okay, you said dead or alive, so I'll go with Guillermo del Toro. I love his directing style and the way that he makes his movies. I would really love to talk to him about film and just get to know more about him as a person as well.
Awesome. Anyone else have any questions?
Not right now, so go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, but there's a lot of great people that I would love to meet, and I actually get to meet a lot of very cool people because of the shit that I went through and the people I've met since I've gotten out. So who knows? Maybe one day I'll get to meet Guillermo, and maybe one day I can have a spiritual conversation at Jim Morrison's gravesite. And no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so
Okay.
You never know.
All right. What would you consider a dream job if you could do anything?
To be a director of movies that people like and don't hate. That or a rock star, one or the other.
All right.
Come on, it's supposed to be the lightning round. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you want the lightning round questions? Let me get
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
What is Sherry is asking? Let's see. Hold on. Did someone already ask what his favorite movie is?
Oh, no.
He has a hard time with this one.
I don't recall. No, I'm just kidding. I kid. No, that's a tough one for me because I'm bad at picking favorites. I like a lot of different movies. I'd say some of my favorites actually fall in the comedy section. I Love You, Man. Great movie. Hot Tub Time Machine is another one of my favorites.
I love those.
Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny is another one I really like. But I also like great films like Papillon, The Great Escape, movies like that. Old classics. I like a lot of great horror films. I love the Evil Dead films. I was a big fan of the Insidious franchise. So yeah, Hunter S. Thompson, huh? Sure. Fear and Loathing, right? Now, I have. I'm not an avid reader of Thompson's, but I am familiar with his work. And I love Johnny Depp's performance in Fear and Loathing. Yeah, so. But no, I'm not a huge Hunter S. Thompson person, but I am familiar. Favorite drink? I drink water most of the time, to be honest. And tea, unsweetened tea. I'm not a sweetened tea person.
Yuck.
But yeah, that's my go-to. I'm trying to limit sodas. But when I do drink soda, I like root beer or Dr. Pepper. As far as alcohol, I don't know. I don't drink as much as I used to. Before I got locked up, I had a pretty bad drinking problem, and so I drink in moderation for the most part now, because I don't want to be that person anymore. So I've been known to have a beer or two here and there. On occasion, I've tied one on, but it's usually because I'm out celebrating with, other exonerees, or I'm at a bar with my uncle watching a game or something. But usually I don't drink very often. So.
Favorite sport?
Football, but I'm kind of getting fed up with football lately because they're making it where you can't do anything in football anymore. It's like, oh, you roughed him up too much. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's a fucking physical sport. What the hell do you expect? So, yeah. But football would be my favorite. I like Olympics, and I'd say in the Olympics, people always laugh at me for this, but I like curling.
I like curling.
I've curled before.
And
I don't know if
I
I
just
liked
think
it,
it's cool.
but-
And it takes a lot more experience than people realize. It's not like just throwing a fucking rock down the fucking ice.
It's hard work.
Well, it's skill. There's skill in it. Books or ebooks. I read regular books. I'm old fashioned like that. I like the feel of the book in my hand. I like the smell of a book.
Love the
but
smell.
I've read so many fucking books though. I'd have to say probably a couple of my faves are Brave New World, 1984. Nonfiction would probably be The Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, which I recommend everybody read. In its full 3-volume set, not the condensed version.
I'll get it right on that.
I think
Yeah.
everybody should read
I didn't
that.
even understand what you
I think
said.
I think it's important to have knowledge about a variety of things.
Can you tell us about that book that you suggest every one of us read?
The Gulag Archipelago?
Mhm.
It's basically a very, very in-depth study about the Gulag system, which was the prison industry under the Soviet era communist Russia, Soviet Union. And it was written by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who was a Soviet dissident who fled Russia because he was locked up for basically speaking a unfavorable opinion about Joseph Stalin. And, in that country, when you say you don't like the leader, they lock you up or kill you. Though they did. Soviet Union doesn't exist now. But Russia's not much better under Putin. But I'm not going to get into politics. But yeah, he was a Soviet dissident writer. And so he wrote about the Gulag system as well as his own experience within that system. And I just think it's a very important book for people to read. Favorite
I could
Disney
write a book
movie?
about the goulash syndrome.
Huh?
I could write a book about the goulash
Yeah,
system.
I like goulash. No.
All right.
Disney. Wow. I love the Pixar Disney stuff. Pixar is fantastic. As far as a favorite, wow, I don't know if I have a favorite of that either. But I did like Up was one of my faves. Inside Out was another good one that I really liked. I really like the Cars movies. So I like all that kind of stuff. I love that new style of animation that Pixar does, and a few other companies have done them. I'm drawing a blank on their names right now, but Leica Studios does some. I like stuff like that. I also like claymation stuff. I loved what like Tim Burton did with Corpse Bride and The Nightmare Before Christmas. That shit's freaking awesome.
So, like Davy and Goliath when you were growing up, did you watch that on Saturday?
No, I never watched that, but yeah, no, that wasn't my thing. I was more into listening to Motley Crue shout at the devil rather than watching Bible studies on Saturday morning. But yeah, Disneyland. I think I might have when I was a kid, but I don't remember. A lot of my childhood, I don't remember a lot of parts of. But Star Wars or Star Trek is Star Wars.
Right answer.
It's not that I'm against Star Trek. I just never got into it as much. But Star Wars, ever since I was a little kid, man, I loved it. In fact, me and my buddies used to reenact the fucking movies in their entirety. We'd go out and we'd take these, like, you remember the Christmas wrapping tubes? Like the cardboard tubes? We would take those and act like they're lightsabers and go out and do all this shit, But, favorite breed of dog? Well, I love all dogs. But I like pit bulls. I think they're beautiful animals. I think that they get a bad name. It really comes down to the owner of the people. I also I love Akitas. Those are very beautiful and loyal dogs. But honestly, I think, and people might laugh at me, but I think if I was ever to get a dog, at this point in my life, I'd probably go with a very small dog, a Boston Terrier or something along those lines. I
said Angie has a pit bull. That's why she put up her hand. And
pit bulls are awesome.
They are the
best. They get a bad name, and I've met a lot of people that have them, and they are the sweetest fucking dogs in the world. Mm-hmm. It really comes down to how you raise that dog, and if you teach that dog, to be violent and vicious and as a fighting dog, then that's what it's going to do. And for the record, I cannot stand the fact that people fight dogs. I think that is horrible, and it's tragic, and it's ugly and disgusting, and I can't, I could go on, but
right.
So I can't stand that, and I feel like pit bulls are usually the ones that are pushed into that world, unfortunately.
Yes. All right, someone wants to know your favorite food.
Some of my favorite foods. Unfortunately, pizza is one of them. I say that because it's, not the best food for you. But I really love, I like a lot of variety of food. I really love Mexican food. I could probably eat Mexican food every day of the week and never get sick of it. I also like, I like Chinese food a lot too, but Mexican is probably my favorite. I joke that I was born with a burrito in one hand and a taco in the other. And a large part of that is probably because you inherit what your mom did when she was pregnant. And my mom ate like Taco Bell and other Mexican food like every single day she was pregnant. So it's no surprise that I came out loving Mexican food and really hot and spicy foods. I love hot and spicy.
They say that's true, but my mom drank Orange Crush when she was pregnant with me, and I can't stand it.
Yeah. I used to like Orange Crush, but now I don't drink that because I'll drink Fanta, but not Orange Crush, only because the sight of the name Orange Crush bothers me now because that's what we called the TAC units in prison because they wear more tactical uniforms.
I thought maybe you didn't like the REM song.
No, I have nothing against REM. I'm not a huge fan, but I have nothing against them. So.
I think,
They
wait,
did
there's
have
one
some
more
great
in this.
hits, though. So.
Okay, well, after that, then it was favorite junk food. What's your favorite junk food?
Pizza. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say because pizza's healthy food, so
Yeah.
that.
Let's see. Nachos.
I said we've actually talked about this.
Cheesecake.
You told me nachos.
Huh?
I said we've actually talked about this because you told me I had to have your nachos because they're the best nachos.
Yeah, so I don't believe in making nachos where you take a plate full of chips and then pour shit on top of it. Because then when you get done with the top, you got a bunch of chips at the bottom that don't have anything on them. So I like to layer my nachos. And I'll take a layer of chips, small layer of chips, and I'll put, meat, cheese, olives, whatever I want on them. And then I'll put another small layer of chips and put some more, and I layer them so that by the time you get to the bottom, you're still got, the good stuff on the chips. Otherwise, you might as well just eat chips.
Good point.
so yeah. But and my other one is like I said, cheesecake. I love cheesecake. So yeah.
That sounds really good right now. Just saying.
Yeah.
I think that's.
But I'm trying to get away from that. I've been trying to eat healthier. I like to cook, so I'm trying to eat healthier. In fact, the menu tonight is chicken, broccoli, and pineapple stir fry.
Oh, that actually sounds really good.
I love pineapple and stir fry.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
But for those who have never made it themselves, if you ever do, be careful because pineapples, because they have so much juice in them, will hold that fucking heat in.
Yeah.
And if you bite into that and you're not careful, you could, burn yourself. So.
That is true.
Have you had gas station nachos? A bag of hot Fritos with chili and cheese.
Yeah, but not since when I was younger. We used to go to 7-Eleven and get the chili dogs and the nachos and the Slurpees and all that shit. But that was back in my days when I was, high all the time or drunk all the time. And, we would do that, or we would go. One of our favorites is be out partying all night, and then at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you go to a fucking diner to get breakfast.
Oh yeah,
that's the best.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Here, Alice, I'll ask this one. Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee. Sorry. Yeah, Bruce Lee is my favorite, but I admire Jackie Chan. I think he's
so funny.
Movies. Yeah, he's funny, but I love the fact too that he does all his own stuff, all his own stunts and everything, and yeah, I like Jackie Chan. But Bruce Lee, I grew up watching, Bruce Lee stuff. In fact, I even had his book, The Tale of Jeet Kune Do, which was my dad's book, and so I've always had like this closeness with Bruce Lee stuff. Okay,
so Fen is opening up a big can of worms here because we're going into music now.
Misfits shirt. What other bands does he like?
Because I know you will talk all day about music.
I'm just gonna take a break, sit back.
Don't mind me.
Well, no. Here's what we'll do. Because we're coming up on the hour. So why don't we do this? Why don't we put a pin in this? Everybody take a quick intermission because I gotta hit the head, and we'll take a quick intermission and then we'll pick this right back up. That sound the plan?
Go ahead. We'll be fine.
All right, you guys talk amongst yourself. I'll be right back.
We can handle it for a few minutes or a minute. Actually, I'm gonna probably. I said I'm gonna go get another drink because I'm almost out. But so Angie can just stand here and talk, or sit here and talk to everyone for a minute.
Well, one of my questions to him is going to be if he was named after anyone, and it's because I was just talking to a lady at work, and I found out that. Well, she asked if I knew if any tropical storms were named after me. And I'm like, I don't know. So I looked up Angie. No, but Angela, there was a tropical storm in 1972 from February 29th to March 2nd. And being a music lover myself, I always have told people that I was named after the Rolling Stones song Angie. But now that I know that there is a tropical storm from February 29th until March 3rd, and I was born on March 15th, and it was actually a tropical cyclone Angela, I'm going to start telling people that's what I was named after, because that's a better story.
Okay, let's see. You're gonna get all sorts of compliments because everybody. Angie already knows that I hate her because she's beautiful. You look fantastic. Linda
you
said,
hate
"Tell us about
me?
your." Linda said, "Tell us about your beautiful eyes."
What about them?
They're brown. I don't know.
They're brown.
No,
Well,
your makeup
they're
probably.
brown.
Plug your makeup that you wear.
I have lashes on. My Tory Bell lashes. Bonfire that I call bomb fire
Wow.
for anyone who knows why. Thank you. My glasses were from Zenny, I think, online. Okay.
All right. Music.
You know what? Before we get involved in this again, before we get
All
into
right.
the next group of questions, I did tell Jason that I had something that I actually have not told him yet because I was like, I'll save it for tonight because I know it's supposed to be about him, but come on, like, of course I'm going to talk about myself. No, I'm just kidding. No, but what I was going to say, and Angie does know this because she knows everything, is that I am actually starting a new job on Monday. Job, not just a new job, but a job on Monday. I am actually going to be working, and I have to work every day now. So I'm going to work Monday through Friday in the mornings for 3 to 4 hours a day as a podcast and video stream producer. Somebody's actually going to hire me to do these things. So anybody that knows my struggles with my disability and everything I've gone through and how I really thought I would never be able to do a regular job again. And so the fact that this is because of Angie that I actually have this job. So, I mean, I love her anyway, but I totally love her for this too. It's just another thing to just add to the love train, the Angie love train, is she helped me get this job. And yeah, and one of the things I really struggled with is just feeling useful and feeling just like I'm not contributing anything to the world with my lack of not being able to do anything. And so I just wanted to share with everyone that yeah, I will be a working woman again starting on Monday, and it's part-time, but it's still like every morning from Monday through Friday, basically until like from 8:30 whatever until I get done working. So, but it's supposed to be about 3-4 hours a day once I get used to everything. So I bought my second monitor. I have a desk on the way, and I have to get a chair so that I will finally have a reason to set up an office. So you don't have to keep looking at my fireplace.
I have a chair for you.
You have what?
I have a chair for you, like an office chair.
Oh, I already just bought one. I just bought one.
Send it back.
God, just bought it.
I bought one on Amazon and they sent me 2.
Really? You have to send me a picture of it.
Okay.
I'm very picky, so that's the thing. Like this thing kills me because it only goes up half my back, and I'm in physical therapy because of my neck right now. So it's like this is really hard. So I need something that would be more of a relief that way. But yeah, send me a picture later. So anyway, so that was my big news. So
well, congratulations.
Thank you, because believe it or not, I actually didn't talk to Jason at all this week, which is probably why we spent 2 hours on our trial run today. So when we were talking earlier, I was like, damn, that's right. I haven't even talked to him to be able to tell him this. We've texted a few times, but I was like, I'll wait until we get live and then I'll tell everybody. So I'm very excited. I hope that I do a good job. I'm still a little nervous.
I have a feeling you will.
But I figure if there's one thing that I hopefully will be able to do, it is producing and podcasts and video streams, despite all my technical difficulties that I always have. So
you'll be all right.
I'll be ready. Yeah. So
you'll be fabulous.
Yeah. So I just wanted to let everyone know, and we can move on now. Now I'm done with about me.
All right. Well, while you were gone, I told the story about my name and how I always told people that I was named after the Rolling Stone song Angie. Okay, you heard that? Okay, but It's not true, and my name is actually Angela. But there was a tropical storm, Angela, a tropical cyclone, to make it worse, that went through between February 29th and March 3rd of 1972. And I was born on March 15th, 1972. So that's my new story. I was named after the tropical cyclone. So what I
Wow.
want to know is, were you named after anybody, or do you have a story behind your name?
Mine is embarrassing, but first of all, do you know why they? Nah, I'm not gonna say this joke. Never mind.
Now you kind of have to.
Fuck it. All right. Do you know why most hurricanes and storms are named after women?
Oh God.
Because they come hot and wet, and they leave and they take half your shit. But all right, anyway, just real quick, David, I would love to go to Australia, but and maybe in the future I will. I don't know if I'd have talking and speaking engagements, but I'd love to do that. But I have done an interview with Tracy Keogh from over there. So I don't know if you've ever seen or heard that, but yeah. So, but I'd love to go to Australia and talk, or just see the country.
Yeah, I wasn't even aware of that until I saw it.
Embarrassing names. Yeah. Oh, well, that was a couple years ago. Yeah.
I think it was last
About 2
year.
years ago. Was it last year?
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
bad about
It's
time.
it's on Tracy Keogh's website for Brendan
Yeah.
if you want to look for it. But yeah, I was doing some research for last week's show, and then also I was like, you never told me you did an interview with Tracy last year.
Yeah,
So
I do so many I can't keep track of these things anymore, and time is so warped in my head. It's like a Salvador Dali painting, time just doesn't make sense to me anymore. So yeah, I hope to eventually get there. As far as my name, it's sad, but my mom got the name Jason from a soap opera about two brother doctors that were doctors. And one of them was named Jason, and she really liked it, so she named me after him. How stupid is that, right?
No,
my
but
middle
it's
name,
a story.
I mean, it's just weird, you're named after a fucking a character on a soap opera. So I don't know, it's just weird. So.
And your middle name, you were saying?
Oh, my middle name was actually from my grandmother, not the one I was talking about earlier. My other grandmother, who passed unfortunately while I was in prison. My middle name is Lee, and her name was Leola, and so I was named after her for my middle name.
Yeah, we have
that was my dad. That was my dad's mom.
Same middle name.
Same middle name.
Same middle name. Yeah, we have the same middle name, and Jason actually is my favorite boy's name. Always has been. It's been like my entire life.
It's a very common name. It's not unique in any way. So.
Yeah. If I would.
Although I used to spell it unique when I used to write poetry and draw and paint and all that shit, I would always sign my name instead of Jason. I would sign it Jasin, just to be different. Pulled out of a cookie jar. Wow, that's different. Yeah. This guy's saying his sister's name was that way. Do you have a favorite Quentin Tarantino film? Oh wow. Reservoir Dogs is a really good one. I like Four Rooms also. For those that don't know it, Tim Roth, great fucking film. It's got a lot of good actors. The Fourth Room has Quentin Tarantino in it, and it is an amazing scene and setup. I recommend people go watch that one.
What's it about?
Four Rooms. It's about Tim Roth plays a bellhop in a hotel during Christmas, during New Year's. My bad. And there's 4 rooms, and there's crazy shit going on that he has to deal with, and it's about his interactions with these people and all the crazy shit that happens in each of those rooms.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's worth a watch. A lot of people don't know about that one as much as the other films that he's done, but
I have to say, well, I love Quentin Tarantino. So, I mean, Pulp Fiction is my favorite, Reservoir Dogs, and then I love Death Proof, which Chris just brought up, and I just watched that again the other day. Now, Fen just put a in the because she
Oh,
she asked the question about music, and so I'm trying to find what the exact question was, Fen, and I'm already.
It's about the Misfits and any other things I like.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
So you know what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously I like the Misfits, but I like a lot of different bands. I often joke that I like, everything from Beethoven to Slipknot. I like heavy metal, rock, blues, jazz, rap, country, classical. Obviously, my go-tos are rock and metal, but I like a wide variety of things. In the Whale is one of the bands that I really like. That's a two-piece band out of Colorado. Great guys. I've been honored to know them and work with them. In fact, when I put my YouTube channel out in the next week, one of the things that I'll be putting up there right away is the concert of In the Whale that I filmed.
Oh, wow.
And put together. So yeah, they're great guys. I recommend people go check them out if you like loud music. And the Whale is great, and they're a two-piece band out of Denver. I listen to a wide variety of things. Today I've been listening to a lot of Motley Crue, old Motley Crue. Though I love their first two albums the best. But I like. I think another one of my favorites I've been listening to lately is I always listen to. He's one of my go-tos. Is Dax Riggs. Many people aren't familiar with Dax. He is in New Orleans. He was originally sang for Acid Bath, which is like a sludge metal kind of band out of New Orleans. And then he had Dead Boy and the Elephant Man and his own solo stuff. And he's also got a lot of like really just great covers that are like, like he's done covers of like the Beatles, John Prine, stuff like that. Just some great music. So I like a lot of different stuff like that as well. I love the Beatles. The Beatles are great. John Lennon was fantastic. All of them were, but I listen to a lot of John Lennon by himself as well. So yeah, I like a lot of different things. I mean, I could just ramble on and on about bands that I like, but I mean, like, is there any specifics that people want to know?
When you think back to when you were a kid and your first memory of hearing songs on the radio, what were those songs?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one. All right, so radio-wise, it was probably a lot of like just your 80s glam rock shit that was out at the time. Cinderella.
Yeah, I like that
Night
glam rock.
Ranger, stuff like that. That was what was played on the radio for the most part. But and I listened to all of that stuff. But most of what I was listening to is stuff that wasn't on the radio. I listened to a lot of like DRI, Suicidal Tendencies. And I also listened to stuff that my parents listened to. Kiss and Alice Cooper and Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin. So I had a wide variety of stuff there.
Did you listen to Trio?
No. Sorry.
Hey, it's an obscure one, and I know that you don't. That surprises me.
Yeah. Master of Puppets that was a great album. But anyway, yeah, the guy I'm going to talk about Metallica. But the Metallica was another one. I listened to a lot of Metallica when I was a kid. Iron Maiden, all of that. But I also listened to other things too. So, my dad was more the rocker. My mom listened to some rock, but it wasn't all like, your Black Sabbath and stuff like that. She listened to more stuff like Billy Squier, things like that, or a lot of Motown and disco stuff. So I got a lot of influence from her on those things as well. And then from my grandparents, I picked up things like Elvis, some big band stuff, different things like that. So, I listened to a wide variety of stuff. But as far as the radio, MTV and stuff like that, it was basically whatever was on and popular at the time. MTV actually used to play music videos back in the day.
Right. I was alive then.
Yeah. So, there you go. Top 5 bands, no order. Oh, wow. That is incredibly impossible for me. I will say Hatebreed is one of my favorites. Slipknot, Corey Taylor is just all around one of my favorites. But I mean, I like so many different bands. It's hard to put them into a top 5. You know, I mean, I love John 5. I like the Beatles. I like, Dax Riggs, like I said, the Deftones, Toadies. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And I've seen a lot of great freaking bands. Musicals or operas. Let's see. Does Phantom of the Opera count? No, I did see something really cool. I'll mention this first. On Halloween, so there's this place here in Nashville called the Schermerhorn Symphony Center, where they put on orchestras and different things like that. And they also have a habit of playing movies and having a live orchestra bring the movie to life. And on Halloween, they've had a tradition of showing the 1920s silent Lon Chaney film, Phantom of the Opera, and they'll have a live organist there to bring it to life. And that was really cool. I recommend if anybody ever gets a chance to do something like that, that is cool.
I did that with Star Wars. It was Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars in concert.
Star Wars, Harry Potter, they've done all of them.
Yeah, it's good.
So I thought that was really cool. I've seen Broadway plays on TV, like not the theatrical versions, but like Les Mis. I've seen the actual play production, stuff like that. I went to Rock of Ages when I was in New York. That was really cool. Let's see. I don't know. There's a few different things, but it's not like actual like operas. You know, I haven't gone into those. I would like to see the Phantom of the Opera live. I've seen it on TV as far as the production, but not live. So that would be cool. But yeah. But I like musicals, and I even like opera music. You know, like I said, I like classical. So.
Miss Chris is asking, does anyone else put YouTube on the TV and just have your own MTV experience? Does that sound familiar, Tracy?
What are you saying?
A couple weeks ago, Tracy and another friend of ours came up and spent the night with me, and that is actually what we did most of the night.
We did. We played 80s music. We played a Duran Duran concert and Rick Springfield songs. And Angie did her middle school routine.
Yeah, middle school dance routine.
Yes, and I was trying to think of my pom-pom routines, but I can't actually do them at the moment. So I was trying to think of them, but I didn't get to perform like Angie did. And our friend that was with us had never heard of Rick Springfield, so I was like, "You're out of the club, and you need to go home." But I said it was like the perfect like 12-year-old sleepover.
Yes,
it absolutely I loved it.
Yeah. You know, I have been to a lot of concerts, but I will say 80s music is great. A lot of people rip on the 80s, man. The 80s had some great shit. You know, it might have just been for that period that it was what it was, but I mean, if you were growing up in that time, it was cool shit, you know. The glam rock scene, a lot of people really got into that. I don't care who says they didn't. A lot of people did.
Yes.
In fact, one of my first concerts ever was Cinderella, Guns N' Roses, and Aerosmith. Aerosmith, obviously, the main attraction. But that was a great show, and I probably didn't watch most of it because I was lost in my young mind of air guitar and everything else, you know. But it was a great time. My aunt took me. It was in Alpine Valley. It was an amazing time.
I saw Rick Springfield at Alpine Valley.
I've not seen Rick Springfield, but I am familiar with who he is.
Thank you. You're not kicked out of the 12-year-old girls club then.
You can have a sleepover with us. You're invited.
Yeah. Jennifer's kicked out, but you can join us. That was so much fun.
I badly. It was interesting. You never see anything from him anymore, but then he did. Was it like 2 seasons ago? He was on Supernatural. And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
And I watched Supernatural, but I can't remember.
Playing, I believe he was playing a rock star, if I'm not mistaken, but the devil like possessed his body.
Yes, I do remember that now that you say it.
You know. Have I watched Hamilton? I have not. I want to. I just never have gotten around to it. It's one of those things that's on my very long list of recommendations that I should watch. I will say though that Nikki James, I had the wonderful opportunity to not only meet her but work with her to a degree on Proven Innocent. She actually was in the Broadway version of Hamilton and has won Tonys for her work on Broadway. So
Wow.
See,
I get
Linda,
to meet
you
some
get to
very
be
cool people.
Linda. You can be Linda can be a 12-year-old girl with us because Rick Springfield was her first concert ever.
Well, there you go.
And then Sean is whipping out the Donna Summer, the disco years. Bee Gees, Stay
So
Alive.
Donna Summer and the Bee Gees, yeah, those were big in my house. My mom, like I said, she listened to a lot of stuff like that. So I got to hear a lot of that kind of stuff.
That's a tragedy.
In fact, there's not really. There's a funny thing though. So where I live on a lake here in Tennessee, in Gallatin. And if you go out around the bend from where I live, Johnny Cash's old house is there. And
Wow.
the remains of it was burned down by the Bee Gees. It wasn't on purpose, of course, but they had bought the place and it accidentally caught on fire and burned down. So I thought of that when I saw that, but yeah.
We got some questions kind of going around, but
And,
I'm sticking to the music
Guns
questions.
N' Roses is awesome. Look, my Les Paul, man, is a nod to Slash. And in fact, here's a good one for the Guns N' Roses fans. I actually got to wear Axl Rose's jacket by the guy that designed it for him. So
Oh, wow.
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And Shree's saying her favorite concert was the Eagles.
Nice. Never got to see them. One of many bands I would have liked to have seen. The Rolling Stones is another one I would have liked to have seen. Van Halen, the original Van Halen,
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen.
I still like
Hagar.
I like Sammy Hagar's Van Halen. I do. I like
I'm
150.
not
I do.
100% opposed to it, but I just prefer David Lee Roth.
Yeah, I can see that, but I actually like
Sammy
51.
Hagar better on his own or when he was with Montrose. Something about Van Halen like shifted gears so much when he took over, and it wasn't that it was terrible. I just didn't get into it as much.
It was a different sound for sure.
Yeah.
Head East. Okay, I've never even heard of them.
Oh, I went to one of their concerts.
Get out. No.
I've seen everybody
I can't
almost.
say they're like on my playlist or anything, but
Oh my God, Chris, seriously. Like we were just talking about this. Jason and I were just talking about this before when we were doing our try run.
Yeah,
people reacting
I've
to
seen
music.
good ones, but I've also seen ones that I'm like, what the fuck does anybody want to watch this for? So I remember when I was first thinking about how do I create stuff to put on YouTube, some years back, because I put out my Soundcheck music show, and I'm like, how the fuck am I not getting any views? And I was searching other people's stuff just to kind of see what they're doing, and I came across this girl who had a show where she would put up a music video and you'd watch it and she's in the corner and you can see her reactions. And at the end of the video, she says, wow, that was such a moving video. You can see I almost cried at one spot. Well, that's it for today. See you next time. And I'm like, that's it? And she had like 100 and something thousand fucking viewers. And I'm like, how the fuck are people watching that at like large numbers? And I can barely get 100 viewers. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So that drives me crazy. I don't understand how someone like that gets so many views when they're not even putting out any real content.
Right.
So yeah, I've yet to figure that out. But anyway, left you feeling shook or just a surreal experience? Shook in what way? Like,
I'm afraid to ask for Chris. She asked the Boxer and Brace question, so I don't know what's going to come out of her.
I meet a lot of interesting people. So there's a lot of things that are surreal. I mean, because of what I've gone through, I get to meet and hang out with a lot of cool people. I've got to hang out with Tommy Two-Tone. For those that don't know, he wrote 8675309. Most famous song. Or
she knows that one because her name's Jennifer.
That came up at our sleepover thing too.
And I've met AC Slade. I've met Greta Van Fleet. I mean, I met Garrett Hedlund. I get to meet a lot of really cool people. I got to work with David Elliott and Danny Strong and some of these people on Proven Innocent, Riley Smith and others. So yeah, I get to meet a lot of really cool people. I'm trying to think of who else. Phil Kaufman. I got to hear a first-hand account of the Graham Parsons story. You know, so I've got to meet a lot of really cool people. It's been cool and it's been fun. And I expect that I'll get to work with and meet a lot of other people. I'm, you know, in a lot of ways, I'm 1 degree away from some pretty big names. So it's very, in a way, that's surreal. You know, I went from being a nobody to, you know, I'm wrongfully convicted, and now everybody is like, hey, you know. So I mean, I'm not gonna like, no, don't want to know you. So it's really cool. I get to do that. Guilty pleasure. Wow. I don't know.
Hanging out with 2 beautiful women on Zoom on a Saturday night.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, most of the things that people would consider a guilty pleasure, I don't see any guilt of it. Like people would say, oh, I have a guilty pleasure that I like Prince. Nothing wrong with liking Prince. You know, so there's things like that I never found like a concern with it being guilty pleasures. Trying to think.
I could see like if you watched the Gilmore Girls, that would, or your favorite movie was The Princess Bride or something like that.
I actually like The Princess Bride. Carrie Ewells was awesome in that movie. Come on. Andre the Giant, you can't beat that. That was a classic, great film.
Well, there you go.
But that's not even a guilty pleasure because everyone loves The Princess Bride.
Yeah, I mean, so that's what I mean. A lot of the things that I like that I don't think they would classify as guilty pleasure. I like incense and candles. Does that count? I don't know.
There may be that.
You know.
It's a little girly, maybe, but that's what. See, my husband is not home, and that is why the candle is not lit tonight.
For every you know incense and candle, you know, I counter that with things like, you know, like this. You know, I have plenty of skulls around too. I got to make sure I'm man it up. No, I'm just kidding.
Just put the candle in the skull. There you go.
No, actually, that's my guitar skull. That's the one I keep like my picks and capo and tuner knobs and all that stuff in there.
So you play the guitar?
I do, yeah.
It's not a question, right?
So mentioned Pink
I
Floyd.
like guitars. I actually have 7 guitars and a ukulele.
But don't expect him to play them.
Yeah.
That's why I'm laughing. He plays guitar, but he won't drum.
I'm weird about playing in front of people. I've only been playing for 2 years. And I'm not a professional by any means. I can play a wide variety of stuff. I even write my own shit. And I'd be happy to show you my guitars, but I for some reason, whenever I try to play in front of people, that's when I make all my mistakes. I can sit here and smoke a bowl and play some music and rock out and never have a problem with it. And then, but if I play in front of somebody, I'll make every fucking mistake I can think of.
I can attest to that because you actually didn't make a lot of mistakes, but
I hear them though. I hear the mistakes.
Yeah, but he spent every time he was going to play telling me, "I'm going to fucking screw this up." It's like a self-defeating prophecy. So,
right.
But he did play for me, and he's not as bad as he's making it sound. We're going to work him up to playing in front of people. So he played in front of me, and so we're going to work him up.
Maybe in the future. I mean, it's not that I couldn't. I got this guitar here is plugged up, and this one's here. But you know, I was playing before we hopped on. So,
ABBA,
huh?
Would be a guilty pleasure.
Not ABBA.
I'd say ABBA.
Unless you like
I
Mamma
don't
Mia, because I love Mamma Mia, and so I can say I love ABBA
I
songs.
actually thought that was a good movie. I watched that too. So. Here, that's a good one. When I was in prison, here's a guilty pleasure for you. When I was in prison, I used to love to watch Hallmark Christmas movies.
Oh my God.
See, this is why we're friends. I watch all this murder stuff, but I am a sucker for Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, It is what it is. I always thought they were endearing and really good stories. And, you know, it kind of made me think about the things that I missed in life. And, you know, that's one of my things. I say, you know, Halloween's my favorite holiday, but I love Christmas as well. I enjoy quiet, comfortable Christmases with my mom and my grandparents. And, you know, that to me, that's great. I love that.
How about Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving's all right. It's, you know, we don't really do anything big. It's usually just me and my mom. So we fly to Arizona for Christmas. So that's why we have, you know, my grandparents and stuff there. But as far as Thanksgiving, it's usually just me and her because I don't have any other family in Tennessee. So.
Would you do Fear Factor or Amazing Race or Survivor? I wish I could do Amazing Race because I love that show, but I'm not physically fit enough to do it. But
I've never actually watched Amazing Race. I know what
I
it is.
love Amazing Race.
So I don't know all that's involved, but and same with Survivor. I don't know what else involved in that. Fear Factor I've seen, and there are some things I would do, but there's a lot of things I wouldn't. So I guess I would have to go with Amazing Race or Survivor, even though I don't know what most of those contain or are about. But I know Fear Factor sucked. I mean, I'm not eating maggot soup and all that shit.
Or would you do a Hallmark Christmas movie?
Well, I mean, I'd definitely act in a movie if I had the opportunity.
Yeah, me too. But that's not happening until you actually write a movie, and then I'm going to be in it.
Me too. But you know what I want to play?
Well, we know what Angie wants to play, but Jason's breaking her heart and not letting her play that role. So we're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I of the films that I plan to make in the near future, none of them have a option for you to play the role that you want to play, which is the dead body. The dead bodies that are in it are already taken because they fit a certain storyline that I have to fulfill. And I already have somebody in mind for those.
I could be in the morgue. I could just be in the morgue.
Angie's live stream is to play a dead body.
But none of the 3 movies I want to do have a morgue. Now, if I ever get to make one of the movies I've had in mind for a long time, it's a story idea that I had. I would like to make with someone like Rob Zombie or Guillermo del Toro. That would have plenty of dead bodies in it. Full-on horror film.
You're not picky.
You know, that would be fine. Or there's me and my buddy Brandon have talked about a variety of films and ideas.
So there's hope.
Something in the future. There's
You're
hope,
giving
but
me
it's not
hope.
going to be in the initial ones. In fact, one of the little things I want to try to do isn't even like a motion picture film. It's a slideshow of black and white photos with narration and music. Which I think is really cool. We got the idea from you've seen the movie 12 Monkeys?
Mm-hmm.
With Brad Pitt and all that?
Yeah.
Great film. I thought it was really cool. The idea for that came from an old black and white film called La Jetta. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But it was basically a movie made of black and white photos with narration and music. And I thought it was really well put together. And it basically is the storyline of 12 Monkeys, but not as elaborate, of course.
Right.
But I liked the way that they did that. And I thought it was really clever. And so one of my projects that I want to work on is creating a storyline that I can show through black and white photos with just narration and music.
Very cool.
So now Fen says that she'll voice the trailer, and we kind of owe her after getting her involved with that other thing. So we kind of owe Fen on this one. So yeah.
Voicing, that's something else I would like to. I would love to do voiceover acting.
Me too.
Like, I would love to be a voice in a Pixar movie or some shit, you know. Of course, I wouldn't be able to say shit or things like that, you know, like fuck or ass or bitch or motherfucker.
I was just thinking it would be cool. Like it would be cool to be a voiceover for Netflix. They have all those foreign films that they have English words, but I could totally do that. I could be one of those people.
There's been so many times I'll see a movie on Netflix and I'm like, that looks really cool, and then I'll go to watch it and there's no subtitles and it's all in a foreign language. I'm like, fuck, you know, like why? But yeah, that would be a cool job. That, or like she said, doing the trailer voice, you know, like you've seen the movies where they'll be like, I don't know, I can't think of a damn thing right now, but it's
A long
like,
time
there
ago,
was once a
in a
guy
galaxy
who,
far,
blah, blah,
far
and they'll lay
away.
out this whole dramatic thing, Kind of reminds me of when Kramer was on Seinfeld doing the movie phone guy, I don't know if anybody's watched Seinfeld in forever, but
Have you seen
Snatch
Snatch?
or Kung Fu Hustle? I've seen Snatch. I liked it. Kung Fu Hustle, I feel like I've seen it, but I just don't recall a lot of it.
Do you remember when everybody was kung fu fighting?
Yeah, I recall that, but there's a lot of things I've seen that I have those moments sometimes where I'll watch a movie that I've seen before and I just don't remember I've watched it, and I'll be like, this looks familiar, because I've seen so many movies in my life,
Right.
that, like I said, a lot of them you just don't remember all of them. Somebody get me out. What?
There's a show called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and it's another reality show with pseudo celebrities.
I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that, so yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
See, Angie, your idea, there's actually workshops teaching that. So your idea.
Well, I want to do it, so hook me up.
And I got to give Alice credit here for bringing up willy warmers, because I can honestly say no one's ever said the phrase willy warmers in one of my chats.
No, they need willy warmers and long johns.
I've never heard of a willy warmer,
but I've heard of long johns. I've never heard of willy warmers, but okay.
I'm picturing
me
it
personally,
though.
I like cold weather myself.
Me too.
So,
in fact, I keep my house at 68 degrees all year round.
Oh my God, you're killing me. I'd be freezing. Yeah, because Angie's hot all the time, and then I'm at her house in a sweatshirt and blankets. I'm so cold.
I like it, and it's great for like if you really want to watch a movie, like say it's a nasty, stormy, fucking crappy night out, and you keep your house nice and cool. You can kill the lights, put on a good movie, and curl up under your blanket, and you're comfortable.
That sounds like a perfect night.
I can do that without the room being cold.
Yeah, but see, I like it. I don't, and I get to use my blanket. I love my blanket, man.
I always have to have a blanket, and my dog always wants me to have a blanket.
Mine is cool though, because mine was specially made for me, and yeah.
The blanket has a story. Tell us.
The blanket
made you the blanket.
My blankie is half Batman, half Superman.
That was going to be one of my questions.
And my Aunt Cindy made it for me.
I was going to ask Batman or Superman. Now you can just fold up the blanket, whichever side you're feeling.
Yeah.
Well, it must be Batman, because you were wearing a Batman shirt earlier when we talked.
I was, but I also have a Superman shirt as well.
Do you have a Doctor Strange shirt, though?
I do not know.
Like mine.
No, I don't have a Doctor Strange shirt.
What's wrong with you?
My Superman and Batman shirts are majority of the time, those are just lounging around shirts. But yeah.
Do either one of them have a cape?
No. In fact, if most of my wardrobe is black. So there's not a lot of room for colors and
Okay,
superheroes.
I can attest to that being true. Because
yeah, I gave her the tour earlier.
He gave me a virtual tour of his house, and yeah, he showed me the closet, and yeah, I think I saw one thing that might have had some white on it. Otherwise, it's all black. There's like no color in there at all. But I can get behind that because I like black clothes too. I have a lot of black stuff. So Angie, do you still have questions in your little list of questions there that you wanted to ask?
Well, a lot of them were asked by other people.
Okay, well, if you have any left, ask those, and then I'm gonna put the StreamYard link if anybody wants to come on and say hi or ask a question. Chris, you've asked so many damn questions. You better get your butt on here and ask one. I'm gonna put you in a private stream with Chris and Sue, and they can just ask you all these questions.
All right, just one. What's your eye color?
Blue, green, bluish green.
Do you have any special talents?
No. I don't know. I don't know. I know how to play guitar. I know how to play video games. I know how to cook. I don't know if any of those qualify as special talents, but
Hey,
I know how to paint, I know how to draw, I know how to write.
Are you willing to play the Avengers game when it comes out?
I wouldn't say no.
I pre-ordered it,
I'm
so we
not
can
like
play.
looking forward to it. My favorite games are more like first-person shooter games. Like right now, I'm currently playing Division 2.
I'm not coordinated enough to play those, so I'm getting the Avengers game, and I'm going to play it. So you should get it so you can play with me.
All right. Is it going to be on any specific like exclusive platform?
I got it for PS4, but it's also on the Xbox.
Okay, because that's the thing. Like some games are only on certain platforms. All I have is Xbox. So.
Well, there you go. You have no excuse then.
Okay, how tall are you?
Actually, I have 2 Xboxes. I got an Xbox 360 and an Xbox One.
So see, you're all set.
Yeah.
All right, how tall are you?
About 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", something like that.
What was your favorite subject in high school?
The end of school.
Recess.
Honestly, I hated school. I didn't really get into appreciating learning until after I was out of school. But I would have to say probably maybe science. I always enjoyed that. Mostly because I had a cool teacher. Otherwise, most of my teachers and I didn't get along. So yeah, I don't know. I never liked school. I graduated. I even went to a tech college for a short time. But I don't know. I always felt like it wasn't for me. I don't know. I just didn't get into it. But once later on in life, I was more into learning. I read because I wanted to read. I learned because I wanted to learn, not because somebody was forcing me. And I'm not saying that school is bad and you shouldn't want to go. I'm just saying, that's how I was. I didn't care. But, I had a lot of shit that I dealt with as a kid, too. I had my mom's second husband was a piece of shit. We used to fight all the fucking time. I lost my dad when I was a young kid. So, a lot of different things played into me just not having a good childhood when it came to school. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to deal with people. I just wanted to go and forget about life and party with my friends and be a rock star and all that shit.
All right, more bath or shower?
Showers, obviously. I love showers, but I'm not opposed to a bath. I just haven't had one in a very long time. In fact, I was actually recently looking at that and thinking I should get one of those fancy fucking, sauna bath fucking things.
No, because you have a pretty freaking fancy shower, and I would kill for that shower.
Yeah, I have a really cool shower.
Yeah,
I got a double head. It's walk-in.
And again, he gave me a tour. Okay, it's like he's not sending anything.
Like the Jameson version of
we are in completely different states. It's not like she was here.
Yeah, no, it's not like he's sending me like pictures in the shower. And no, I took a tour, and he went in the bathroom, and I was like, "That shower is amazing."
We didn't go there. You did.
What?
I said we didn't go there. You did.
Yeah. I just want to point that out. I know how people think.
Showers are my thing, and I really enjoy. That's I'll add this, even though we're not talking about prison stuff, but that's one of my big things that I really enjoy and appreciate is the privacy to take a shower or go to the bathroom without other people being around.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Coke or Pepsi?
I don't really have a preference in that. If I was going to choose one, it would have to be based on cherry. So cherry Coke or cherry Pepsi, and then I would go cherry Coke. Actually, cherry Dr. Pepper is pretty fucking fantastic too. But but I'm trying to cut out sodas, so like I said, I drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of tea. And coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. Catfight coffee, people. Go get your Catfight coffee.
Yeah. I'm always like, yuck, coffee. It's awful.
Hot summer days got you down. Go get some Catfight cold brew, man. That shit's good.
That sounds good.
I think, who was it that put it in the chat last time? Somebody put it up. Was it Fen? I didn't remember. They put the cat fight coffee. They found the website and put it up quick. So hey, maybe do that. I got Rhonda being like super mad in there right now. She's putting up links to your Twitter and our interviews and everything. So thank you, Rhonda. I gave her wrench today, and she's wielding it like
yes, very, very, very well.
Yeah, I've seen her. She's on top of stuff. So I
yeah,
appreciate
she
it.
is. I thought she already was a mod, and she said she wasn't. I was like, well, I need to fix that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you have
So
any
thanks,
stupid?
Rhonda.
Do you have any stupid party tricks?
Stupid party tricks. No, see, I didn't plan
Like,
for this.
like I can
never really
wiggle.
thought.
You can't see
I
my.
don't really party anymore, so I don't
Like,
know.
like I can wiggle my ears.
Huh?
My wiggle in my ears.
Yeah. What about it?
It's her
That's
talent.
one of my stupid party tricks.
Oh.
There
yeah,
you
I
go.
don't have
Cat fight
anything
coffee.
like that. I
Thanks,
don't know.
Rhonda.
I mean, I could probably like play tricks, but not like I don't have like any kind of like real weird talent thing.
Like you don't juggle at parties.
No.
My mom can shake her eyeballs.
No. You know what? You know what's a fun thing to do though is like if you're ever in a bar and so you're sitting there drinking a beer and somebody sits next to you and they don't you don't know them. If they lean over and talk to you, just kind of look at them startled like, you can see me? and fuck their whole world up,
Okay, Chris.
I used to like to do shit like that to people, just to fuck with people. Like I used to love to do, there was a thing I used to do to people where they'd say, oh, you're crazy. And I'd be like, crazy? I was crazy once. They put me in this room, it was a padded room, and it had rats and roaches. Oh my God, the fucking rats, they drove me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They put me in this room, it was a padded room, and it had rats and roaches. And oh my God, the rats, they drove me crazy. And crazy? I was crazy once. And I would do that to people just to fuck with them.
And they would be
so
like, okay, I'm out.
Those are the best.
I can make a taco with my tongue. I can roll my tongue. So not everybody.
I can do that, sort of.
Yeah.
Supposedly that is a genetic thing, though. Some people can.
Really?
Yeah. Either you can't or you can't.
I can't do it the other way.
It's like people that can't roll their R's, like, they can't do that. I don't,
I'm not even attempting that right now.
I don't know if I can do this anymore.
I'm not attempting that.
Forever.
I will sound so dumb.
I used to be able to make two different noises at the same time. I don't know if I can still do this, but I'm gonna try. Hold on. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
The vibration underneath.
Yeah.
The whistle?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
See, that's a good party trick.
I have no party tricks. I have no talents at all. Can you do the Vulcan hand thing? Like, seriously, if you want to ask that, you're coming on to ask that.
I mean, I've never really thought about it. No, I guess I can't. I mean, I don't do it enough. I'm not a Trekkie. I'm not a Trekkie, man. Come on. No.
She rubber banded her pinky and ring finger together
to train them.
Yeah.
I guess there's hope.
When I was younger,
I can't do it as well with my right hand, which is weird.
That was a good thing. Like if you could practice doing
I know
stuff
my
like
left hand.
this, like just kind of, and like just practice doing that. That's actually
this is a good one
to becoming a guitarist. But I don't know. I've never.
You're a comics guy. If you could have one.
Oh, I already said that. That would be well. If I had to pick one, it would be Spider-Man. But I'd like to have Spider-Man and Deadpool combined.
Chris, you must have been a fun kid.
She forced my eyebrow up until I could raise my one eye. Yeah, the rock thing, I can't do the rock.
I can open. I lift one eyebrow a lot. I can't lift my right one though. I can only lift my left one.
I can't do that. I can wink both eyes, but I can't like.
Well, now you know. If you hold it up, you can train yourself to do that.
Yeah.
Or Botox would work.
Yeah, I suppose it would.
Okay, so I think since we've gone through most of the questions, anybody want to come on to say hi, ask a question? Or is everybody, a lot of you guys are from the UK are still here, and I know it's like 2 a.m. for you guys, so.
I mean.
Who has me on? I can hear my voice coming through.
I don't.
Just talk about random shit. Like I said, I like music. I like films. I like my guitars. I like going to the range.
I
like
have a
playing video
question that I've
games.
actually never asked you before.
Oh shit.
You have a lot of tattoos, so do any of them have any special meaning?
Most of them don't. They were just dumb childhood things I did. But I'm in the process of getting some new ones. The one on my hand says, I don't know if you can see that. Where is it?
Yeah.
Anyway, it says this is now.
I could actually make you
is-
big if you want to show it.
Oh,
There.
it's fine. I mean, I don't know if you can really see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it goes.
So what
This
is it, Tana?
now. Anyway,
Oh, this is now. Okay.
it's from lyrics from a Hatebreed song, and so I kind of got it in respect to them. I love that song, and the song is basically about a guy that never saw anything for his life. Was just down on himself and negative all the time, but then he realized that he had to control his own destiny and control himself if he wanted to persevere and push forward in life. And so This Is Now is about understanding that. And so I got it in part for that song, but also to remind myself that this is now. I'm free. Because one of the things that constantly happens to me is I'm constantly asked to relive prison for people so that they can understand what I went through and all that. And I don't mind that. But it's one of those things where I try to remind myself, this is now. I'm not in prison anymore. I can tell people about it, but I don't have to live there anymore. And so it's just a reminder to understand that I'm free, embrace that freedom, and persevere and grow from it and own your shit, So other than that, the one on my neck means sin, which I got when I was younger, mostly just because, I lived a life of who the fuck cares, right? Devil may cry kind of thing. But most of them were just crappy tattoos that I got when I was a kid. But this whole arm, I've spent the past couple years lightening the tattoos up so that I could get cover-ups, which I'm very stoked to have happen really soon. Next month, I get to set up an appointment. I was like on the list at number like 1,500 and something because this guy's so popular. Really great tattoo artist. Jay Quarles, you can find his work on Instagram. He's a great tattoo artist. But he's going to do a sleeve for me. And the sleeve will be the upper arm up into my chest will be an Asian style dragon or Eastern dragon. And then down here is going to be a samurai, just the mask of a samurai with, flames and shit and everything going all around. And then on this side, even though it doesn't fit the Asian culture, it's an American quote, it ties in what it means to me. And I'm going to get the words, give me liberty or give me death. And all of that is basically a symbol of the strength that I had to have to fight my case and to persevere and survive and become the person that I am. So all of those have that meaning for me.
Rhonda said she has Linkin Park song. Well, you said now, wait, song title tattoos.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
not
yeah,
a
but
tattoo
I mean, this is the
person, so
title, but
I
it's
have
also
none.
in the lyrics. So, I mean, it's the same thing. But
Yeah.
Linkin Park was great. I love Linkin Park.
I have a bunch of invisible tattoos.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I want to get a lot more tattoos. I'm putting more thought into what I'm getting and what they mean now. Whereas when I was younger, it was just like, hey, that's cool. You didn't, when you're young and stupid and you spend most of your time getting drunk or high, you don't think about what you're doing sometimes. Yeah. And, yeah.
Deborah just said it's 10:45 Sunday in Oz, so we have an Aussie here with us. So thanks, Deborah, for tuning in on your Sunday morning.
Welcome.
I've never had tattoos. I can appreciate the art of them and I can appreciate the meaning that they have to people, but I personally just don't care for them.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't care for them. It's that
I love to tell people is, because you get a lot of people that are like, oh my God, tattoos are horrible. Why would you do that? They judge people for them. Now, I love to tell people, the only real true difference between the tattooed and the non-tattooed, aside from the obvious, we have tattoos and they don't, is that people that have them don't give a shit if you have them or not. But there's a lot of people that don't have them that make it their fucking duty to point out, you have tattoos. Well, yeah, so what? So do a lot of fucking people. I don't care. I don't care if you have
well, and
them or not.
the reverse is true. Like, I personally don't care for them, but I don't want anyone to take that as I hate your tattoos or I'm disgusted that you have them. No, like I said, I can appreciate them for the artwork, and I can appreciate them for the meaning and everything. To somebody else, as a personal preference, I just don't care for them. But I don't have anything against anybody that does.
Think about it. I mean, when I was younger and I got tattoos, it wasn't like it was. Tattoos were everywhere. It wasn't like it was a secretive thing, but they weren't as popular culture accepted yet as they are now. They're widely accepted now,
right?
A lot more than they were when I was younger. So back then you get one, and the first thing's like, oh my God, you'll never get a job. Nowadays you can have your whole fucking body covered and nobody's gonna give a shit. So there's a big difference in time frames.
Rhonda was just saying that her son does tattoos, and he's done his own sleeves and his entire stomach and chest.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta be a bad motherfucker to do your own sleeves and your own stuff.
Right.
God damn.
Rhonda, you can tell him that he's a bad motherfucker. Alice says she has tigers and dragon tattoos and still want more. I bet you Brendan would appreciate those dragon tattoos. The boy loves dragons.
They're addictive though too,
Tracy, you just have to tell people that yours are invisible.
Yeah, I'm just telling my tattoos are invisible. See, it's exactly what Sue just said, is that this isn't the only reason I don't like them, but I do always think when I see them on other people, I always think what it's going to look like when they're like 80 years old.
Yeah, well, so that's depends on the person. It also depends on the quality of the artwork. Some people age differently. Some people's skin sags. Some people don't. I know fucking 80-year-olds that got fucking skin that's tight and fucking, they look fucking like they're still fairly youthful. It also comes down to the quality of the work when you get it. If you get really crappy, shitty tattoos, they're going to look even worse when you're older. But at the end of the day, you only live once, so fuck it. Hopefully by the time you're 80 and they look crappier, people are going to fucking already have accepted you for you, and it's not going to matter. Also, when you're 80 years old, at that point, you can basically say you don't care anymore. You can do and say and be anything you want. You've lived a long enough life to fucking say, hey, screw you guys. This is me, and accept it or don't. I don't care. So, yeah. Look forward to old age. You can say, I don't give a fuck anymore. You get gullible people like me. I think glow in the dark.
That's it. You should see me in the dark.
Chris is going to just get me back because I made her laugh a lot during a live stream that she did.
But there's people that get those. Glow in the dark tattoos are out there.
Yeah, that is a thing.
With white ink are out there. So yeah, it takes all kinds. Look, everybody's got their own life to live. That's the beauty of things. There's this thing called individuality. We can all be who we want to be, and just because someone else doesn't approve of it doesn't mean it dictates your life.
See, just like I don't like I have my ears pierced. I actually have them technically double pierced, but I never wear earrings. I hate wearing earrings. They hurt my ears.
I don't wear earrings anymore.
I've let them close up a lot. But so then, of course, I'm sitting there like, how could you want to have your face pierced? Like, how would you want to do that? But again, to each their own, whatever. I just personally could never do that because I don't even like having my ears pierced.
I had both my lobes, my cartilage up here, my eyebrow, my tongue. I had my lip once. I didn't last very long. I took it out. And then I had my nipples. But I don't wear any jewelry anymore, except for like my necklace and my ring. So
you have your nipples pierced?
I did.
Oh, you don't anymore though. You don't wear anything. Do they close up on your nipples? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, they close up. I don't wear any jewelry as far as piercings anymore.
Monty's joining us a little bit late, and he asked if you talked favorite books yet. Maybe kind of books. Sorry, joined late. So can we just give a rundown on that again?
I've read a lot of different books.
I'm putting this up
My
just for
favorites, favorite stories were probably like Brave New World, 1984 were a couple of my favorites. And then I mentioned the Gulag Archipelago earlier. There's a book, I don't have it right next to me right now. It's in the other room. That's, what the fuck is the name of it? It's not It Might Get Loud. That was a documentary. The Birth of Loud. It's about Gibson and Fender and the rise of the electric guitar. And so that's what I'm currently reading. If anybody's
And
interested.
Angie, can you tell him that the Tennessee whiskey story is not bad? It's a good documentary.
It's a very good documentary. You'd
I don't
like
doubt
it.
you. You guys got to remember, I get a million people telling me all the time, watch this, watch this, watch this. So I
Yeah.
got this
Yeah, but
I'm
gigantic
sorry.
list of
Were we
shit that
talking
people
about
tell me
them?
to watch.
this is Tracy telling you.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's really good. I even watched it with a
What are you
migraine,
talking about? Million of people, like they
and
don't
I
even exist
enjoyed
right
it.
Yeah, well,
It was
I
very,
mean,
very
look,
good.
documentaries, though, music-wise, Devil at the Crossroads was a really good one I watched not too long ago, about Robert Johnson. And another really good one is Sound City. I recommend that one for sure. That's it's Dave Grohl's talking about the famous Sound City studio. It was in California. It's no longer there. And he does this great documentary about it. He has all these great musical influences come in. A lot of people work there. Fleetwood Mac, Nirvana, all these people. And he now has that legendary soundboard in his studio.
Oh, wow.
And people come from all over to record on that. In fact, my buddies in the Whale, their last album was recorded at Dave Grohl Studios on that legendary board. So, yeah.
Okay,
Very
Rhonda,
cool.
just the way you put this made me laugh because she said she had several ears. I'm like, what ears?
Several ears. The little wing thing in the middle of my ears, and then, of course, both of my. All right. So, yeah. Dude, I've known people that have had a ton of piercings.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
A ton of piercings. So, yeah.
Several years.
Yes,
I've
several
even
ears.
done
It's several
piercings
ears
for
pierced.
people.
Like, Rhonda, how many
You know, that
several
was something I
ears
was
do
going to
you
get
have?
into for a long time.
Oh my God, I'm cracking up.
You know, I was working in the adult bookstore before I got locked up, but I had done body piercings, and I was wanting to eventually get into opening a shop and doing tattoos and body piercings. But, you know, that's a thing of the past now. I'm on to other things, but.
She's clarifying she only has 2 ears. I'm glad you clarified that because I wasn't sure. Oh my gosh, you guys are killing me. You're so funny. And Chris is like, don't have me on because I'm laughing so much. I'm like, what do you think I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
I got tears. I'm laughing so hard. Okay, so
Yeah, trying to think of anything else. I like art. I've got a lot of cool art. I've got I like to go to the range. That's another thing I like to do.
what is that now? Is that you?
What's your favorite thing you like to shoot?
I shoot targets. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I could answer that, but I'd get in trouble. No, not for you.
No.
Do you shoot shotgun? Do you shoot
I
rifle?
could give you a list.
I have a few different firearms. I don't know if I'd say one is my favorite over another, but I do enjoy. I know everybody's gonna hate me for this because they're so evil, but I do enjoy shooting my AR. But I really enjoy my my Beretta 9. So I just like going to the range and shooting. It's fun. It's good to stay on top of your training and practice, and it's a good way to go and blow off some steam and, you know, fire 100 rounds down range, you know.
Yeah, we were just talking about shooting my AR.
Uh-huh.
Angie has an AR.
I don't see anything wrong with owning an AR. I know some people are against them, but, you know, it is what it is.
It's a funny story, actually. I went to my dad's one night, and he gave me a box of coins, like $4,000 worth of coins, and an automatic rifle, and then a Glock. And I said,
I have a Glock too.
I put him in my trunk and I'm driving home thinking, I sure hope I don't get pulled over. Where'd you get this? Your dad? They'd be calling in like wellness check on her dad. Or,
No, I don't have a Tech 9. No, I don't have anything like that. No, no submachine guns, no fully automatic weapons or any of that. You know, semi-automatic weapons are what we're allowed to have, and that's what I have. But I do have a Glock as well. I like Glock. They're very good guns, reliable.
do you ever shoot arrow or crossbow or anything? Do you
No. My grandfather was gonna teach me that when I was a kid, because he taught me how to shoot. But he wouldn't let me. He wouldn't teach me until I could hold back a bow for like so long. And when I was a kid, I was too weak to hold back one of them fucking bows because it takes a lot of strength to pull one back to begin with, and then to hold it, that takes a lot more strength. And he said, well, until you get to that point, I'm not going to teach you. So I never got around to learning because eventually, once I hit a certain age, I was too involved with wanting to party and act stupid. So I gave up thinking about those things. But I would like to learn how to use a bow. I haven't yet, but I plan to.
Okay, so we're on the 2 hour mark. 2 hour mark. Wow, those were almost
Wow.
Yeah.
So is there anything else anybody wants to ask? Because I already know that Jason hasn't eaten and he needs to go make his dinner. I make him late to eat his dinner all the time.
I ate a handful of sourdough nibblers before I started, So.
Oh, well, what are you making for dinner this time? Last time I asked him what he was making for dinner, and then like 15 minutes after we were off the air, I asked him again. He's like, what I told you during that stream.
I already told you guys I'm making chicken, broccoli, and pineapple stir.
That's right. See, you did. See, I can never remember. But you're used to that by now. Angie's really used to it by now that I can't remember anything.
It is what it is.
You're stir fry. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I actually enjoy it. I love stir fry. I like Asian style food, cooking in general. But it's a good flavorful dish and it's healthy. So and that's I'm trying to get back into not eating garbage all the time. That was one of my big things too. When I first got out, I was like, I wanted to eat every fucking thing in sight because I'm like, man, I haven't had this in fucking forever. So I was eating all kinds of bad shit and just putting on weight. But what are you gonna do? When you're deprived of those things, you want them even more.
Right.
So
is there anything else that you just want to add that we haven't covered that you want people to know about you?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what people really care about wanting to hear. You want to see my guitars?
Anything.
You want to see my guitars?
Yeah, let's see some guitars.
Yeah, sure. I already saw them, but I mean, somebody else might not see them. I'm sure they do.
I want to see you play the ukulele.
Very rarely.
Just play a couple strums of it.
Oh, that's another. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, but I'll show it to you. All right, here's one of my guitars here. This is my Yamaha acoustic guitar. So when I got out, I didn't know how to play when I got out. My very first guitar was a knockoff Strat when I was a kid, and it got stolen, and I never learned how to play because of that. And then by the time I was old enough to get around to wanting to get another one, I was too busy acting like a rock star rather than being one. So I never learned how to play, and I always wanted to. So when I got out, I thought about wanting to play, and I didn't start right away. What had happened is, and I'll show you, Rhonda, my Les Paul in a minute. What had happened was when I got out, my cousin is a musician, and he plays the guitar, and he had my dad's old classical acoustic, which is also a Yamaha. It's hanging on the wall over here. I'll show it to you in a minute. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know my dad had a fucking guitar. Go figure. But he gave it to me. And at first I was like, no, it was given to you. He's like, no, that was your dad. And he's like, you're not leaving here without it. So basically I got it from my cousin. And I wanted to learn, so I started trying to learn how to play. And I was like, man, this is fucking tough. I don't think I got the fingers for this shit. And I kept I try, and then I quit, and then I try, and then I quit, and then I try, and then I quit, and then finally somebody enlightened me because I didn't realize this. I was a novice, right? And because that was a classical acoustic, the neck is much fatter. And so it was hard for me to reach some of these strings, and they're nylon strings. And these are things I wasn't aware of. And so somebody's like, dude, get you a regular fucking guitar. You'll be a lot better off. So I went to a used store and I bought this one here. And I love this guitar. It was only a couple $100, but it sounds amazing. I love it. It's my go-to 90% of the time because it's right there. I can just grab it and play it. I don't have to plug a bunch of stuff in. And,
Play with one chord.
One
chord. One chord.
He's getting nervous already.
There you go. But anyway, so I got this one and I started playing on it, and I write on this one a lot too. But playing came so much easier. I was like, oh my God, I can actually reach everything. And it felt better. And so then I started learning, and I kept going. I didn't stop again. And I've basically been self-taught. I've played for about 2 years now. And I'm not a professional by any means. I couldn't go on and put on a concert or anything like that. But I can play a large variety of stuff. I know everything up and down the neck. I know how to find all the notes. I know your basic cowboy chords, bar chords, all that stuff. But it's hard for me, especially if I play for people, not to make mistakes. When I'm in my head and I'm just playing at night, I do a lot better than if somebody's watching me or listening. But anyway, so that's this one. And I really love this guitar. I'm so thankful that I found that one. And then this is one of my newest guitars, a Zamaitis, that's from Japan. 24 frets, a beautiful guitar. And I love this one. This is probably my favorite at the moment. It's I don't know, it's just got a beautiful sound. I love it. I'm glad I got it. And let's see.
Rhonda wants
Smoke on the Water. I can play Smoke on the Water. I like Deep Purple. This is my dad's guitar over here.
Oh, wow.
I hang that on the wall. It's very beat up. It's old. It's like I said, Yamaha classical acoustic, but it means a lot to me. I love it. This was my first electric that I bought when I got out. This is my Gibson Les Paul Standard. See if I can get this right. There you go. So there's that one. And trying to get it where I can. Fuck. I can't do it. Anyway, so that's my Les Paul. This is my Gibson SG.
I don't know what he was trying to do.
I was trying to get it where you could see it better. I'm trying to figure out how to fucking make this camera work the way I want it to. There we go.
Just
That's my
rotate.
Gibson SG. And actually, if you see the dragon in the background, can y'all see that?
Yes.
That wooden dragon? My uncle
Hold on.
made that.
Wait.
He makes
Okay. There you go.
chainsaw carvings out of wood. And
Oh, wow.
Chainsaw Carving Ken. That's on Instagram.
I want to look it up.
Yeah, who is that? Who makes that?
My uncle.
Okay.
On this wall, there's supposed to be another one over here. That's where the cream colored one I showed you a minute ago goes. But this is my other Zamaitis guitar. It's the black one there. And the cream one goes next to it. And then down here is my Fender Strat. And then this is my Les Paul ukulele. An Epiphone Les Paul.
Nice.
Ukulele. So yeah. So those are my guitars, and I'm very proud of them. I love them. The Zamaitis guitars I got because I couldn't refuse an amazing deal, and I'm glad I got them because, like I said, that cream color one is really amazing. I love it. And here, I'll show you this too. This is my amp. This is the orange amp. And so yeah, those are my guitars. I'm very proud of my collection. I love them. So there you go. Hope that was entertaining.
Are there any others that you want to get?
Oh yeah. I mean, you can never have too many guitars, right? So no, I really wanted. There's people look up Zemaitis guitars. They have metal tops that are awesome as fuck. I really want to get one. They're high-end guitars, and I will get one eventually. But I want one of those. And then I'm probably eventually going to get one of AC's signature guitars, which are made by Marvin Guitars. Anybody who's interested in getting a signature model AC guitar can find them on his website. You can go to AC Slade on Instagram and find them. But yeah, I mean, those are the only two I'm really eyeing right at the moment. But yeah, those are my guitars.
Cool.
I wouldn't mind having a custom one made for me one day. And you know, I know somebody. You know, this is one I've been trying to make happen. I don't know if it'll ever happen. But get a Gibson. I already got 2 Gibsons, Lexi. Come on, you know this. But what was I saying? Oh, I know a guy. I know. Yeah. So she's like the student that never wants to learn. But anyway, I know a guy that knows Mick Mars, and I would love to get a Mick Mars guitar. Just, you know, I like I said, I loved Motley Crue when I was a kid. I still like Motley Crue, but their first 2 albums were my favorite. Yeah, I'd love to have a Mick Mars guitar, or a guitar from any of the rock stars that I admire and listen to. Would be awesome, but something like that though, I would never play it. I would, you know, if I got a guitar that was played and owned by someone like that, I would hang it on the wall, and I would probably never play it, just because I wouldn't want to fuck it up. I mean, not that I would, but you know what I'm saying. It's just one of those things that, you know, that has a certain value to it, and you just want to have it as a like a keepsake or a memento. So yeah. Kind of like guitar picks. I have a lot of guitar picks, which, I mean, you know, I usually only use 2 of them, but I got a lot of guitar picks. But some of them I'll never use because they're signature guitar picks from certain people. So.
All right. So is there any other questions? Does anybody have anything else?
I want to know, Jason, did you have fun doing this?
Of course.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Of course he did.
Yeah, I mean, I could theoretically do this again.
Well, let's talk about what you want to do real quick before we go.
I might even fucking play guitar next time for you.
All right. I think we should do it again then.
Or actually, maybe I should say, if you're unlucky, because you probably hear it and be like, "Oh my God, you're not a guitar player."
Well, someone suggested that Tracy and I sing while you play guitar.
Angie's heard me sing. You don't want me to
I can't sing and play at the same time. That's a talent I have not harnessed yet. Every time I try, my strum hand falls to shit. So eventually I will learn to do that, but that's a skill that takes a while to harness. Slipknot or Misfits? Oh, I mean, come on, that's like 2 different worlds. I mean, they both have their element. I love Slipknot. Corey Taylor is amazing, but I love the whole band. But I mean, I like Corey Taylor's vocals in general. I liked him not just with Slipknot, but with Stone Sour as well. But the Misfits, I mean, come on, that was there when I was a kid. I've always loved the Misfits, and yeah, so those are like 2 different worlds.
How about NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet Boys. Now, I don't know any Backstreet Boys songs.
Yes,
I actually
you do.
love Backstreet Boys.
You do. You just don't know you do.
I mean, I'm sure I know them, but I mean, I don't like know like, oh yeah, that's them. You know, like I just never got into that. But I mean, it's not that I'm opposed to poppy sounding songs or anything. It's just not my go-to. Guitar Center in San Marcos, California. So guitar. Joe Walsh. Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah. That would be something to remember. I would have the picture on the wall if that was me.
He gave the damn picture to one of his uncles.
Wow. Yeah, you know, sometimes people don't appreciate the classics. You know, I definitely do. Britney or Christina. Christina, not because I'm a fan of her music, but because she comes across as more real to me than Britney does.
Less created.
Huh?
Less created.
Huh?
Christina seems less created, where Britney seems like she was molded into the pop star kind of thing.
Manufactured.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yes.
she was, and she was just more of a down to earth, truer person. It seemed like, and she cared about things aside from her image.
Right.
And I admired that. So, because it takes a lot, you know, the music industry, if you allow it, will chop you up and spit you out, right? So I admire when people are able to be who they chose to be and not what a studio told them they had to be.
Right.
So yeah, I hope everybody else has been having fun. Rob
That's not even the
Zombie
same.
or Metallica? Oh my God, these are
That's not even the same question. I mean, it's the same two different things.
Metallica's got so much more history for me, but I love Rob Zombie, not just musically, but film-wise as well.
Yeah.
Who I'm also 1 degree away from. I have a connection with Andy Gould, who produced Rob Zombie's movies, and yeah, so I hope one day to work with Rob.
That'd be cool.
That's on my bucket list. It doesn't really exist, but I
Right.
you know, I don't know. Yeah. So
I'm glad you're having fun.
yeah.
Gosh.
I just, my main thing is I want to make sure that the people that are you know, watching are enjoying it. You know, I don't want people to be like, forget this guy. You know.
Well, people are still here, and it's been over 2 hours, so I think they're enjoying
Yeah,
it.
and the thing is that I know who's going to stick around, because I have people that, you know, are just very good friends that are are good. They stick around for all of my lives, and I really appreciate that. But they wouldn't stick around if it wasn't interesting. So yeah, they're here because they think it's interesting
My
and they love me,
autograph
but
is not
it's because I
worth a
think
lot
it's
of
interesting.
money. I'm just a C-lister. I you know, my signature doesn't have much value, but sure.
And like I told you before, I'm a Z-lister, so I would kill to be a C-lister. I really
Actually,
would.
I stole the C-list thing. You know, so when I was locked up, one of my favorite shows I used to love to watch. There's a couple of them. One was Robin Big. I don't know if anybody remembers that one. And the other one was The Fantasy Factory. Both of them were Rob Dyrdek, who does Ridiculousness for those that watch MTV today. I loved both of those shows, and especially Fantasy Factory. Rob Dyrdek, I admire him because he's a professional skateboarder, but he is a true through and through entrepreneur. And I mean, and he lives life to the fullest. He's one of those guys that if he wakes up and says, "Hey, I want to go swim with sharks," he doesn't think about it and think that would be cool. He goes and does it. And I've always admired that about him. And there was one of his shows, one of his episodes, where he was walking around with a shirt that said C-lister. And because somebody made some comment in a tabloid about him, you know, saying, "Oh, this C-lister, Rob Dyrdek," and blah, blah, blah. So he just owned it and was like, "I'm a C-lister." And so that's where I got that from. Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to mute you, but I could hear Dan talking, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna mute you."
No problem. I thought I muted myself.
No, you didn't. So when you started talking to him, I'm like, "I'm just muting you."
You have that right.
But yeah, so but those were a couple of my favorite shows, and that I used to like. And I'll tell you, here's another one. you want to talk about favorite like shows, like drama shows. One of my favorites, even to this day, I've watched this series all the way through numerous times, and then I watched sporadic stuff. Tupac. But anyway, somebody asked me Tupac or Biggie. I said Tupac. But anyway, it's Psych. I love the show Psych. I love the movies they made. That's one of my favorite fucking shows. I love it. I can watch the series endlessly. It's almost just, I can't get enough of it. I love this show. I love all the 80s references and all the different little quirks they have about it. And, you know, it's one of my top favorite shows ever. Breaking Bad was another great one I liked. And Sons of Anarchy was another one of my favorites. And Monk. Who the fuck could not like Monk? Monk was awesome.
I loved Monk. I actually watched maybe the first 2 seasons of Psych, but then I just kind of lost track of it for a while. But what movie makes you genuinely laugh every time?
Oh wow, there's so many. The Hot Tub Time Machine movies are up there. Tenacious D is up there. Let's see. Step Brothers is a good one.
I love Step Brothers.
That movie is freaking hilarious.
Did we just become best friends? I love that movie.
I might watch that tonight now. No, but yeah, I love that. So yeah, I've always loved horror movies, but I found that over the last 5 years since I've been out, I've really grown to appreciate comedy a lot more, and I find myself watching comedy a lot more. I think part of that is because I like the opportunity to laugh and unwind and not think about dramatic shit, because I've dealt with so much of it in my life that it's just a break from reality. So on that note, and just by the way, love the dog. But on that note, one of my favorite shows, I watch it endlessly. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen this either. And I used to love it when I was locked up, because I would roll fucking laughing and forget that I was in prison for a while. And that's Impractical Jokers. I fucking love that show. Those guys are amazing. They make me laugh all the fucking time.
I love them too. Have you met any of them?
No, but I know Ken Levitin, who his company runs Impractical Jokers. And I want to be on the show one day. I told him, I said, I've told lots of people this. I think what they need to do is 2 things. One, they should have a blooper reel of when people get pissed off.
Right.
Like just one episode all about when people get mad. Because you know there's a lot of those.
Right.
I mean, especially, they're in New York. Come on. You know.
Come on.
Yeah, hey, come on. Forget about it.
Come on.
Anyway, but then the other one is, I think they should do a season where every episode a fan is on. And the reason I say this is because, when we watch the show, I don't know how many people out there watch this show. And Finn, I'll get to you in a second. But I don't know how many people watch the show, but we all sit back and we think, oh, I could do that. Or I would have done it this way. And, it's easy to do that when you're not in the hot seat. Right. So I always wonder, like, if I was on the show, would I really be able to do half the shit I think I would do? Or would I even be able to think of the outcomes the way I do when I'm not under pressure? And so I think, man, that'd be awesome to be on the show. I know they've done a couple where they've had some of the crew join in just to see if they would do it. But imagine if they had every episode had one fan come on and join them and play the game with them. And if the fan loses, they have to do a punishment too.
Right.
But nothing permanent, like you can't tattoo the person or anything
right.
like they've done. But still, I think, play the game the way the rules are. And I would definitely be down to do that shit. Better Call Saul, I got to catch up with that. I'm like in the middle of season 2 and I haven't finished. But I like it because I loved Breaking Bad, and I love the fact that it follows Saul Goodman's path to corruption. I think it's a very well-made show, and I love the character development in both series. So yeah, I like Better Call Saul, and I hope to catch up with it again one day. I'm sure it's good. Oh, The Office. You know, I've never actually like watched it. The most is like I might have it on in the background while I'm doing other shit, but I've never actually like really paid attention to it. I hear it's great. I've just, you know, it's just one of those things that I've never took the time to watch or acknowledge. So I don't know.
Sorry, Rhonda. I have actually never watched The Office. Never watched a
Me
single
neither.
episode. I know. I'm sorry. Don't hate me.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those shows though that I hear. I've heard a lot of people talk about that they like it, and from what I've seen, just in little things, it's funny. I've just never liked it enough to want to like
Yeah.
sit and binge it and watch it like all the way through, you know.
Right.
So yeah, sitcoms are hard for me. You know, I like some sitcoms. I love King of Queens was one of my favorites.
I love King of Queens.
And King of Queens is classic. Kevin James was awesome in that. Jerry Stiller was amazing in that. And of
Oh
course,
my
Leah
God,
Remini.
Lexi. Yes. I love that
Tucker
movie
and Dale
so
versus
much.
Evil was amazing. That was funny stuff. What was the
Love
question
that
on
movie.
the first one? I missed the last one there.
I don't know
What
what
was
I
your
just said.
favorite 80s group?
Oh yeah, Fatty's 80s group.
Oh, favorite 80s group. Wow. There's a lot of great ones. Like I already said, I liked Motley Crue. I loved Metallica. And I liked a lot of bands that kind of disappeared. Queensryche, stuff like that. Cinderella, Night Ranger. I liked all those different bands. Faster Pussycat. You know, all that different shit. I dug all of that. But most of my musical tastes back then were stuff that has lasted, but it wasn't radio friendly at the time. You know, like I said, I liked a lot of Suicidal Tendencies and things like that. You know, the Misfits, and you know, not all of that stuff got radio play, but it was big during the time. So, you know.
Hi, Jazzy. See if she can hear me. Hi, Jazzy. Can you say hi?
Yeah,
Hi, Jazzy.
Dale and Tucker, or Tucker and Dale, whatever it is.
I love that
versus Evil.
so much.
That shit was so fucking great because I love the spin
Yeah.
on just making a spoof about these old movies like that. You know, like you know, judging the redneck as being a certain way, and these kids all think that they're killing them when they're not. And,
What's he doing?
it's such great stuff.
It was brilliant, and they're supposed to be making a sequel to it, and I have mixed feelings about that because it was like, just leave it alone. It's so good
Yeah.
the way it is. I
Certain things
I
don't
didn't
need
love the
sequels,
ending, but
and
the
certain
lead
things
up was
don't
amazing.
need remakes either. You know, yeah, there's certain movies like when they remake it, it's like, why the fuck did you mess with that?
Mhm.
You know, just, you know, some of them I get, but some of them it's like the original was so great that you should have just left it alone. And I always think of there's this In Search of Darkness. It's a very long documentary about 80s horror movies, and there's a scene on there where Wes Craven is talking, and somebody asks him about remakes. They're talking about the Psycho remake,
Mhm.
which was garbage. And no offense to the people that were in it or anything, but he was talking about that, and he was like, why on earth would you make a remake? Psycho was amazing. You know, you didn't have to make a remake. And the person was like, yeah, but you know, there's kids that won't watch black and white movies, and there's some people that, you know, they just don't want to watch black and white movies. And I'll never forget, I loved his response. It's perfect. And he says, so fuck them. If they don't want to watch the original, that's their loss. But don't butcher it to create a remake that's going to suck just to cater to them and then ruin the reputation of the original, you know? And so I love that thinking, because to me, I look at certain movies and I think, you know, why not just watch the original? For example, I'm not taking anything away from Charlie Hunnam or Remy Malek. I haven't watched the remake of Papillon, but
That's what we were just talking about.
In my opinion, if you're going to watch Papillon, you should watch the fucking original with Steve McQueen.
Right.
that's just my opinion because that was a great movie. It did not need a remake. So that's just me. Jay and Silent Bob. I love Jay and Silent Bob. In fact, I
I like
just
Mallrats.
watched
I love
a movie.
Mallrats.
I
love
liked
all their
Mallrats.
stuff. Mallrats was great. I love the way they rip on themselves and the way the actors rip on themselves. Like Ben Affleck ripping on himself in those movies is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Which I like Ben Affleck. A lot of people were, kind of put off by him for a long time, but I like Ben Affleck. But Jason Mewes, he there's a movie out right now on I think it's on Netflix. I just watched it the other day called Madness in the Method, and I thought that was a really cool film, man. It's basically Jason and Kevin Smith back together again, right? But the story is about how Jason is always typecast. Like every time he goes for an audition, people are like, no, we don't want to see that serious shit. BJ, they want him to be the stoner buddy, right? And he's like, man, I want to be a real actor. And so he goes on this fucking path, and like all this catastrophes happen, people die, and he's wanted for murder, and it's like all this crazy shit so that he can learn how to become a method actor. It was just weird. It was a good movie. I recommend people watch it if you like James Silent Bob. That Thing You Do. Yes, I have seen That Thing You Do, and that was a good movie. I liked it. Tom Hanks was phenomenal in that. The Tiger King. It's not my thing. I watched about a half the first season, and I was like, I can see why people like it, but it just wasn't for me. The Tron remake was great. I like that, but it wasn't necessarily a remake as much as it was a follow-up film. It didn't retell the original story. It was a continuation, kind of like Blade Runner. I liked the new Blade Runner movie. It was not a remake. It was a follow-up to that movie. It was a sequel. And I have nothing against the Tron movie.
Okay, so I already know the answer to this, but what movie is it that you want to see remade? Because we were just talking about remakes a couple days ago. What movie?
Only because I want to make it really dark and scary and shit like that. But Gremlins.
Oh.
In fact, I would love to work with Rob Zombie on a dark, creepy remake of Gremlins.
I can totally see that.
Yeah.
By Bridget,
Gremlins was awesome. Who the fuck didn't love Gremlins, right? That was a great fucking movie. And it's charted as a horror film, but it's not really scary.
Because you said you wanted to be dark, and I'm like, well, Gremlins is already a little dark. I mean, it's not like
I've heard people say that, but it's really not. I mean, when you not when you compare it to other things.
Right.
So yeah, I would like to see a darker version of that. Or another one of my faves when I was a kid was Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Mm-hmm.
I love the original. I hesitate to say make a remake, but if you're gonna do it, make it a darker remake. So here's the thing with remakes. If you're gonna do it, make it different and own it. Don't try to regurgitate the original and fuck it up. So for example, Evil Dead. I love the original Evil Dead franchise. It's very campy and they're cult classics. People love them. But the remake was a completely different animal. It was true horror, and I thought they did a great job on it. So there's certain ones that I'm fine with, but then there's some where the original was so great. If you're going to try to remake it just like the original, leave it the fuck alone.
Right.
So, that's just my take on it. But yeah.
Okay, Fen, you bring up Army of Darkness. That is, I can't say it's my husband's favorite movie, but
I love Army of Darkness.
Watched it so many times. He has like 5 different versions of it on DVD. He has like the Necronomicon version, which got the really cool looking book. And I'm the one that doesn't love the Evil Dead movies, but Jason does, and my husband does. Jack is like, he loves the Evil Dead movies. Evil Dead 2 is actually the only movie I've ever fallen asleep to in a movie.
Come on, Bruce Campbell was amazing.
I love Bruce Campbell. I absolutely love Bruce Campbell. But,
it's just, it was great stuff.
And my husband, Jack, he was really upset when they canceled the show, Ash versus Evil Dead. He was really upset about that.
Yeah. No, I'm a super big, Shop smart, everybody. Shop S smart. Yeah. Gotta love the Evil Dead franchise, man.
Yes.
Let's see, Jason.
Thanks, Alice. It's 2:35 in Scotland, so thanks for hanging with us.
No problem. Thank you.
Sweet
It was great. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, this has been fun. I really enjoyed it. So, and I'm glad that that people are watching that they're enjoying it as well. So.
Yep. Should probably wrap it up soon though, because I know a lot of my viewers that are still here are in the UK. Probably falling asleep. Sue might have fallen asleep already. Oh, there she is. She said hi, so I guess not yet. But
if people really
but yeah, we should probably start wrapping it up.
Yeah.
And Justice is losing her mind. I have a Prigger Pups, even though she's not really pregnant, but Justice thinks she's pregnant, and so she's being very difficult right now. She's carrying her little puppy around, and now she's barking at me because I was making too much noise, and she doesn't like that.
Well, I'll say this: if everybody did thoroughly enjoy it, how am I hanging out with no concerts? It's not easy. I miss my shows. In fact, today I was supposed to be going and seeing Roger Waters.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's been a really crappy year for that shit.
Okay, Ben, first of all, you were in a punk band.
Yeah.
How did I not know this about you?
Listen, I just want to say real quick though, if people really enjoyed it, let us know, because I don't mind. I had a fun time, and I'd be willing to do it again if people want to do that. So I mean, this is kind of a testing ground. I'm really wanting to see if people actually give a fuck about wanting to know who I am outside of, hey, what was prison like? You know, because I want to branch out. I don't want to just be the guy from prison. So this is kind of a test for me.
Well, and what
so
I wanted
if you guys
to
like it, let me know.
What I wanted to mention before was that now I didn't know like what you really want to say about this, but you do want to have your own channel doing something with it that's not related to the wrongful convictions. And do you want to talk about that at all or no?
Oh, you mean the show that I want to create?
Yeah. Well, the one that you said you want to do. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But we were talking about doing it on YouTube, but.
Yeah. The show would be much further into the future. I'm thinking about doing like a 1 hour variety show.
Yeah. That's
like a late night show. Craig Ferguson, that kind of thing. But as far as my channels, I'm going to set up 2 channels. One is Burning Image Productions, which will have anything that I create, like Sound Check, The Injustice System, any films that I make, things like that. And then I'll have my personal channel, which I'll try to put all the interviews and different things that are out there on there so people can see them when they want to.
All right. So hopefully everybody got their questions answered. And Jason's always willing to come on and talk. So
and who knows, maybe next time I'll actually play a song.
Yeah, next time we'll have him on to play a song. But thanks for everyone for sticking around. And Jason and Angie, both of you stick around. Don't hang up yet when I end the broadcast. I just want to talk to you guys afterward for a minute. So yeah, thanks to everybody for being here. Rhonda, thanks for moderating and putting all those links in there. And I don't know.
My Twitter.
Yeah, and Angie's Twitter. Rhonda kept putting Angie's Twitter. Angie needs some social media love because of them taking her Facebook away. Jerks.
Yeah. Hey, and keep an eye out, people, too, because like I said, I'm gonna be putting my channels out there. So keep an eye out because I'll need subscribers. Yeah,
I'll put your stuff up there again.
Go check out Catfight Coffee. Go check out my buddies in the Whale, and support both of those. They're great people, and yeah. Yeah,
Rhonda, that was fine. That's fine. She could use as many social media followers as she can get, since now she has to make up for not having Facebook.
I had 4,500 friends on Facebook, so
yeah.
I think I have
that's
500 followers on Twitter.
Yeah. And then
yeah.
Jason, Rhonda did put the links to the cafe coffee, and she put up the links to whatever that was again, the whale, the whale
And the
thing.
whale.
I'm the whale.
Yeah, I'm brain dead right now. So, let's say, okay, so Rhonda, is that who you are on Twitter? I don't even know who you
There's
are.
me.
Rhonda, you need to stop changing your
all
name everywhere. She's Peaches Nana.
I know. What is with like every time I turn around, people are like changing their profile picture and their name, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? I'm like, oh, okay, they just changed their shit, so I don't know who it is now. It's like people change it like they change clothes, man. I'm like, what the fuck?
I know. Rhonda's changed her name. So before, when I wanted to make her moderator, I was like, what name are you using on YouTube right now? Because I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I need to change my profile picture, but I mean, I'm not going to change my name. A lot of people change the name and everything, and it's like I feel like I've got a new person. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Yeah, so it's weird.
I really wish that I could go back and change all my social media to a fake name because of crazy people. I really wish I could go back and do that. Because
I mean, I don't know. I don't mind it because I have, even though I don't have as much influence as some people, I have a great platform and opportunity to try to raise awareness and help other people. I can't help everybody, of course, but so that's why I don't mind having my name and being out there publicly, because I do want to do good things. But it's funny because I oftentimes get tagged in fucking shit. I was telling Tracy this earlier. I get tagged in a lot of stuff that I'm like, how the fuck did they even put me in this category? Like, I'll get tagged with people like Snoop Dogg and Kim Kardashian and all. I'm like, I'm not even on their caliber. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even have close to the influence that these people have. Why are you tagging me with all of them? But it is kind of an honor too that people think of me as somebody that has influence and that I can do things to help people. So it's nice to be able to do that. I do try to help others when I can. I can't help everybody, unfortunately, and that's something I hope people keep in mind, because I get a lot of DMs from people like, oh, can you help with this case? Can you help with this case? And it's like, man, I want to help everybody, but I can't. And I'm not a lawyer. So it's not like I can help you personally. I can only guide you or give you advice on things, on ways to help your case. But that's about it, So I'm limited, but I have my ways of helping people. But anyway, if you let me, I'll just keep rambling. So
I know. That's what I do too. So don't feel bad, because this is why you and I spend so much time on the phone whenever we talk, or even video chatting, is because we can't stop talking. Yeah. So it's not just you. I do that too. But I think that's about it for right now. Like I said, Jason will come back anytime. Thanks to everyone for being here in the chat. I appreciate it. Thanks for Angie for being the co-host today, the co-hostess with the mostest today. I appreciate it. I don't know what I'd do without you. And so, so we're going to wrap it up, and I will talk to everybody soon. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.